That's always helpful.
Do you need me to sit somewhere else with them? Or do you want the background
It'll be
noise?
right.
Yeah,
it's
you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, it's good.
A little ambiance.
They're extras on the set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Louder over there.
Her voice carries very well.
Is she regular?
She is tonight.
Yeah.
I can go run and grab that beer ducking right now.
Yeah, you might as well.
A pitcher.
You want to?
Yeah.
I'll be back in a sec.
And he's off.
See, then look at the old selfie in here like this. Wait, is it the top one or the bottom one? Do you
I'll
remember?
see. I don't know. Looks like an iPhone.
Top. Hey, there it is. Ah! I never know. I never know what's what. Nice. So, just a little background on me. I do basically everything, like wholesale distribution wise.
Gotcha. Yep.
So, like bars, restaurants,
Yep.
grocery stores.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to talk to you about that. I think there's a little bit to unpack there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting side of the game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll let people know to stop asking me for fucking t-shirts in my car.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you got any t-shirts in there? No, I don't. Wouldn't you think I just carry around t-shirts? They're expensive.
Be prepared to answer your first craft beer experience.
Yes, I am going to ask you that.
You got
You
it.
don't have to say it right now.
No, you got it. I can do that. That's easy. It's obviously now with Stolen Sons since I'm
How did
31.
you end up here? You're 31?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep, swear to God.
You just graduated high school.
I know. Yeah, I tell everyone I have Benjamin Button disease, and they believe it.
It's nice that we sat in age order, I believe.
I think so.
I was
Beer
actually
ducking.
I was a teacher for 2 years.
Yeah?
Hated it. Left. Went to like a brand ambassador type thing.
What? Brain
Like
ambassador?
brand.
Brand,
Like,
okay, yeah.
Like samplings. And
For
stuff
some reason,
like
I
that.
heard brain, and I was like,
Well,
how does that work?
That too. I harvested
Can
them.
you be the ambassador of my brain?
But basically, I was a brand ambassador manager. So
Okay.
like anyone that would do like samplings and stuff like that.
Yep.
Of course, like girls. Think of that.
Yeah.
I did that for Anheuser-Busch high end
Okay.
Yeah. For a year. So I was like Goose Island, Devil's Backbone,
Gotcha. Yep.
10 barrel. I left that, got a job with Evil Genius. I was there for like over 4 years and then
Okay.
came here.
We're going to ask all that again. Just so you know, we're going to get into it
Okay.
when we actually record. I'm definitely,
I thought this was a behind the scenes thing. Okay.
yeah, this is a little bit behind the
It
scenes.
is.
Anybody that's watching now is getting this.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live on the internet. We're just not recording yet.
Hello.
You ready to crank it up there?
I think so. Let me find the other thing.
Make sure you hit record.
You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Might Be Brews, episode 65. We are the podcast where we explore the people, places, and brews of the craft beer world. My name is John. With me, as always, Mr. Steve. How you doing today?
I'm going to make John the happiest boy in the world right now.
This John?
That John. I started watching the F1 series.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. I started watching it.
Are you hooked? Are you all in?
I'm definitely not all in.
Not there yet.
But I'm giving it a go. I'm giving it a shot.
All right. I'm glad you're giving it at least that. we'll circle back in the next episode or two
Yes.
and see where you're at. You're also watching Game of Thrones too, right?
Yes, we haven't gotten too far into that.
Okay.
And we're also trying to watch Breaking Bad at the same time.
Oh, Jesus
We
Christ.
just got way too much TV going.
Yeah, that's intensity. That's
is.
a lot of intensity. All right, so if you guys can't tell from what's going on behind us, we are coming to you live from beautiful Exton, Pennsylvania, with one of our favorites, Stolen Sun Brewing. So we've got John over here.
Hello.
Hey, John, how you doing? And your name's escaping me all of a sudden, but I know it. Don't tell me.
All right.
Pat. I was just
You got
just going. I was like, "There's a Pat animated. There's a Pat here now. That's the sales guys. It should be easy to remember." But Pat, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Shout out to Fueled by Hops. You're rocking their hat.
Yes, sir.
We
I
might
am.
be hanging out in their on their page right now. So if anybody from there is watching, shout out to you guys. But thank you guys so much for having us again.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
How
Good to have
long-
you guys back?
We were just talking about how long do you think it's been? If we've been doing this for 3 years, how long has it been since we were here the first time?
So if we go way back, remember the very first time we were here is when the birth of the podcast happened.
Yes, that's true.
So the first time
So
there was
we
an
met
Eagles,
just
we
to
met
talk
here.
about doing this and kind of make the decisions
Yeah.
to start doing this. And we met here, and yeah, you were saying, what was it?
It was an Eagles Jacksonville London game. We were here at like 10 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, it was
getting
the,
tanked up.
That was a terrible game.
yeah,
They won. Eagles won.
but it was like a morning thing.
No London game is good.
So we came here first and hung out and kind of like chatted about how to make this thing work, and then yeah, so that's where it started, and then
And then our first on the road live show
yeah,
was upstairs.
Is that true?
another first, yeah.
That was our first live excursion. Everything else was
Awesome.
always
That's right. I
at
forgot that.
the home office.
And then John, you and I were just talking. It almost didn't happen
Yeah.
because we were getting like Exton was getting dumped on that day,
Mhm.
and you guys had did water?
Yeah. I
it
mean,
came
we were-
over the.
We were completely breached here, and I mean, there were people parking their cars, walking like without shoes and socks through here. Yeah, we just decided let's just do it. I don't really.
Yeah,
know
we still
why
made
we
it
did
happen, but yeah, I remember that being crazy. So try to put that into perspective. How much has happened between then and now?
That
I
was
mean, we
actually
had
a highlight.
right.
Yeah, that was actually great.
I mean, think about
The high
that. We've
tides
been
were
through a pandemic, an expansion,
Yeah, it's
um,
insane.
all kinds of stuff. So we're ready to get into it. Let's unpack this and go through some things. Shout out to everybody in the chat already. What's going on, Evan? How you doing, Fish?
Hi, Evan.
Good to see you. So let's talk about the expansion again quick, because we're in this new area and it's such a huge, amazing space. And you already had a cool setup. Like you have my kids' favorite brewery,
Nice.
because they love going upstairs and when that loft was open and the games and things like that. Plus you've got the amazing outdoor area.
Yeah.
So we can sit outside and things like that. But I feel like this is going to be a great space to help get people, or to still have that crowd that likes the beer garden atmosphere, but inside.
Yeah,
when it
I
gets
mean,
cold.
that's what we're hoping this winter.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, have a nice big space. People come in to drink some awesome beer. Yeah, really. I mean, that's kind of the thought, is to create that outdoor area that's inside. But
Yep.
ultimately, we want to grow this brewery.
Yeah.
We want there to be tanks where all these tables are.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why, this space, we have a lot of space over on the original side.
Sure.
And, it's been great to give us space during this time.
Yep.
But like, we want to buy more tanks and get some more tanks in here.
Okay.
And make this place bigger.
So for the people that haven't been here, maybe they've been holed up since COVID. If they remember the old setup, there were, you guys were kind of on the back end of the building, and this front end was the UFC gym.
That's right.
So a little bit later, I'm going to put John in a Peruvian necktie.
Well,
That's the only UFC
just
move
gonna-
that I know.
I'm just going to say hippies win. That's right.
So you guys basically just are the
Plus
whole
one.
building now. You came in, you had to add 50 tables, 40 tables? I'm not a bad
don't know.
estimator,
Me too.
but you definitely
We have a couple hundred seats.
over doubled your
Yeah.
space, your pure space from a consumer standpoint. Did you add any beer when you did that expansion? Any tank space?
2 new 30 barrels that are in the back.
Nice.
And more to come. Plus, we bought some more canning equipment and can handling equipment, and we brought on a full-time assistant for Chris. Cameron,
last time we were here, Chris was, I think, just getting
Solo.
started. She was by herself, and she hadn't been here that long, I think.
I was actually probably still making work.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's got to be nice. So what's going on in the brew house? If Chris is back there doing that, and now she's got an assistant, so there's a lot of recipes going back to back, and
there's a lot of recipes,
yeah.
a lot of beer, a lot of sales. That's what Patrick's been taking care of. But
yeah,
really getting the brand out there, canning takes quite a lot to do, and just keeping up with the brewing, the cleaning, the centrifuge. It's a lot of work.
I can't imagine.
It's a ton of work back there.
Speaking of beer,
Should we talk about what we're sipping on here real quick?
We've got a nice little flight of dark beers here.
It's a lot of dark.
We're doing the opposite tasting.
This
is the wrong way. Kids out there, this is the opposite.
Don't do
way
it this way.
Yeah.
We're starting with the stouts. So you got us lined up with 3 stouts and an empty glass, which we'll talk about here in a second. So we got the Jumpy John Stout,
which is our classic oatmeal stout with coffee infused. We put the coffee on the hot side and then also on the cold side. Hello Darkness is always the hot side coffee we add, and then on the cold side this time we added the Gustavo, one of the original coffees actually we've had. We probably tasted it with you that first time you were here.
Yeah. Did remember that we went like 45 minutes on coffee.
It was a lot of coffee. And I'm not a coffee guy. It was a lot of coffee.
But no, that was a lot of fun. But
you should grab as much coffee as you can too. It's about ready to get crazy.
What do you mean, like shortages and stuff?
Supplies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's getting harder and harder to even just get the basics.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
To get anything anywhere.
And then when you want to get like amazing coffees, it's just that much harder.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff's I don't know. It's just crazy out there. I love this beer. It's got such a good balance to it, and I just love the coffee on it. It's definitely got a lot of coffee.
The it's definitely up front, but I think there's something smoothing about the oatmeal in my mind.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know how to quite describe it, but the coffee is there, and then it kind of rounds off, and I think the oatmeal is doing that in my non-brewer talk.
Yeah, but I like the bitterness going on there because I think it's I don't know. I think about some beers that are just too harsh with either the hops or the coffee, and that one I feel is just, you're right, that smoothness really helps it out.
And I think adding it at several points into the process helps to get the full coffee flavor. So
yeah,
the high notes, the low notes, the chocolatey notes.
Yep.
And really, completes this beer.
I don't want to jump ahead, but that marshmallow John is really good.
Yeah, no, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and start sipping on that one right now. But yeah, that's a nice sweetness.
It is.
It's still smooth, but it's like a nice, very nice creamy sweetness to it.
And it's marshmallow. I'm like, how are we going to get marshmallow? Is it going to be vanilla? Is it? No, it's freaking marshmallow.
To compensate for all the coffee that's in this beer, you got to put a lot of marshmallow.
A lot, yeah.
A lot. We put a bunch in and then realized we need a bunch more.
Probably like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
We realized before we got it right.
I like that picture online where it's got like toasted marshmallows around like the glass or of the stout.
Yeah.
That's definitely what it reminds me of. Like a nice toasty marshmallow. That's delicious. That's really good. So what's it like with the how are you guys coming up with like these? Are you still doing a lot of new experimental stuff like this, or have you gotten to the point where there's enough of your flagships or the stuff that like is just an easy sell, let's say, or rotates plenty, so you can kind of keep going back to those same ones? Like, how do you balance that?
Well, nothing's an easy sell.
Sure.
Like you got to keep on top of what we're doing and being 110% all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy sell is, Pat will tell you.
Yeah.
Is anything an easy sell out there?
No, Pennsylvania alone, we're lucky enough that everywhere makes great beer anymore. So you got to differentiate yourself as best you can. And whenever you put like kind of passion into your work and you actually care about what the people want, and also what you want too, it definitely shows that there's passion there and that, it's going to be reciprocated through the beer. So, this would probably be our most recent, like experimental, quote unquote, if you will. We took the regular Jumpy John's. That is an awesome beer, and we wanted to add something a little bit different to it. I mean, before that, we did the elderberry goza, which was like a super small thing. So Chris gets to have her hand at like random little things here and there to just kind of have fun with it, try it out, see what it's like. And then as a group, we kind of discuss and say like, hey, do we want to do this on a little bit larger of a scale and see what people would think about it?
I'm kind of curious, like, I guess, do you guys have like a small system that you try it out on first, or can you guys like pretty much just make a batch and
we're good. We can just make batches.
That's amazing. Because I mean, obviously there's stuff that like you always see on there, your flagships like the Jay-Z Hazy, but that still goes away and then comes back, right? Like that's not always
that one's more of a quarterly. So like our flagships would be Uncle John's beer, the West Coast, Baby Juices, which is the Session Hazy, New Exton, which is the New England, and then for the winter time we do our Kolsch, which is Saffraget. And then we do in the summertime we do the Honeybee, which is a honey wheat. So those two are interchangeable. And we also bring Jumpy John's back for the winter.
Sure.
So we do have those kind of core ones. Jay-Z Hazy is such a big hit that we've made it quarterly, but it's one of those things where you want people to still enjoy it so much, but then when it goes away, they want it again. You don't want to just kind of flood everything. So it's such a great beer. We'd love to have it all the time, but you know,
I think it's a smart move, man. There's so many people that I think it's a good move to help kind of build that want for it, or that, you know, that hypeness kind of where, you know, if you do just release it all the time, it's not as exciting, but when it comes back, it's like, oh, I got to get it while it's here.
Well, and I think we've developed a good, like, you know, bunch of awesome beers that you can go like, let's do Jay-Z Hazy, you know, let's do Mosaically Delicious. Like we can just pepper in all these great beers. And just keep the flow of great, you know, IPA coming out of here.
For sure. I mean, now that I think about it, Hop Headed Stranger wasn't around a year ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's a double dry hop hazy IPA. It's my I like it better than Jay-Z Hazy, which is almost blasphemous to say. But I do really enjoy it. I think it's a great beer, and I think it kind of hits every facet of what the palate wants.
I'm excited to try it. I didn't even get the reference on the label, but I saw the label the other day. Was like, that thing looks cool. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, as we were discussing before the podcast started, it goes back to Willie Nelson. So a little shotgun Willie there.
Yeah, we were like all in the brewery one day, and we were just like thinking of something to do, and I don't know, that name just came up, and we were like, yeah, that's great, let's do it. And it was just Hop-Headed Stranger was born.
I think Stolen Sun just makes references to Shoot Over John's Head.
because
Because
100%.
Remember Suffragette City, he had no.
It's one of the most amazing albums ever written. It really is. Like it is just a crazy story of like love and redemption, and it's country, and it's Willie Nelson, and it's just.
I don't feel like there's a genre of music that I don't like. I just think that like I really didn't have a musical upbringing, so I just missed out on it. Like, you know, in my years of middle school and high school, where you're like very impressionable, like. My parents listened to zero music, like maybe a Bon Jovi CD.
See, you didn't want to get beat up in high school, did you? You didn't listen to Willie Nelson.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
Darn it.
I didn't know those were a thing.
Yeah.
Well, now you can learn about it through beer. So
But yeah, I don't know. You're right. Everything goes right over my head here. Well, Pat, I want to get into since it's the first time you're on the show.
It is.
One of the things that we always do with somebody new is we ask them, "What was your?" Yes.
If you were an animal, what would you be?
Exactly. If you had, what was your gateway beer? Like, what was the first like craft beer?
Oh, craft beer.
Craft beer that made you go like, okay, it doesn't have to be, you know, Natty Lights.
Yeah, at first I thought you meant alcoholism. I was going to say, well, that's easy because that's extra gold lager. First craft beer. To be completely honest, and it is ironic enough that we're drinking the Java Stout right now. It was Trogs. Yeah, they're Java Head. Which I don't believe is made anymore.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I think they discontinued it. But regardless of that, yeah, Java Head was my favorite. So I went a little bit of a different route for craft beer. Most people kind of start on the lighter end.
Sure.
Not me. I went with the darker end first, and then probably for the first year to 2 years of drinking craft beer, I exclusively drank dark beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you pick that up off a shelf? Did somebody give that to you? How did you get into it?
Yeah.
Did you steal it from a 7-Eleven?
Well, at the time, 7-Eleven, so I went to Millersville University out in Lancaster. We had a small little like 6-pack shop that did not ID. So before I could go to Lancaster Brewing Company and get like the growlers and all that stuff like my friends were doing, I went to this, I won't name it, but I went to this 6-pack shop out there. And
it's one of our good customers, right?
I don't think they exist anymore. It was on King Street. If anyone in Lancaster knows King Street, they're not great. But yeah, they had Java Head, and that was the first thing I grabbed, and I loved it. And, I mean, I'm a big coffee drinker, so it was great, man. I went with it, rolled with it, and then from there on out, I went with basically any dark beer I could try.
Yeah.
Once I hit 21, so I mean, I wasn't super young when I got it.
Yeah.
I was like 20. Like just a week shy of 21.
Sure.
12.
I think
Yeah,
statute
12.
of limitations is passed. You're
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
We were talking earlier. I look like I have Benjamin Button disease. So I look very young. I swear I'm 31. And then after that, I mean, once I could start going to Lancaster Brewing Company, which was the closest brewery, I started getting milk stouts and things like that. And yeah, I stayed with the dark beer for like a solid 2 years.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild. I think a lot of people, I don't know, like I got in on IPAs and went hard on IPAs for a while, and I was not interested in Pilsners and lagers for the longest time. I did get into stouts pretty heavy, but it took me a while to appreciate lagers and Pilsners and all that stuff and start going back that direction. But circling back to your history, tell us about, how you ended up here at Stolen Son. Like, what was your beer career history that landed you here?
The beer career.
Yeah.
So I've been in it for a hot minute now, as they say in Philadelphia. So I actually, my background in education was education. So I started out as a teacher. Very quickly realized I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Got out after a long 2 years.
Yeah.
Science, history, what were we?
I was English.
English, okay.
Yeah, so try teaching Romeo and Juliet to a bunch of 9th graders.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I was such an asshole in 9th grade.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Total asshole.
Yeah, man, it was hard. It was great. I mean, and like we can't curse in teaching, so I was just like bottling it up.
It's not good for your mental health, I'm sure.
Excuse me. But then I got while I was doing that, I mean, teaching obviously doesn't pay a whole lot. So one day I ended up at Saloon 151 actually in Westchester.
Yeah.
There was an event going on there. It was for, I think, Budweiser or Bud Light or something. And they were doing like a cool event, and the guy struck up a conversation with him. He's like, yeah, I'm what's called a brand ambassador manager. And basically people go out and do these events and yada, yada. And I was like, hey, I'd love to do that on the weekend or in my spare time, like make some extra cash. Started doing that. They eventually offered me to be the manager and run a team of those event coordinators, samplers, whatever you want to call it. Went from there. I went to Evil Genius. I was at Evil Genius for about 4 years. And then, I wanted to help build a small brewery into something that we could see being big and large and that people would enjoy and have good craft beer. And here I am.
Nice. So what is it like being out there? And I mean, now that you've been in the
also
game for a
Pat
while.
was a longtime customer.
Oh, yeah.
So like,
I bring
we knew
my-
each other quite
Yeah.
a while before we even had a conversation of like,
Yeah,
Sure.
hey,
that's very true. Yeah, I didn't just show up on the doorstep
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah, right.
Going back to that alcoholism, I was here quite a bit.
That's right.
Yeah, and bring my dog and just hang out with her and my wife, and yeah, had a good time.
That's awesome. It's the best place to hang out. Tell us about what you've seen change over the past 4 or 5 years or so, where how craft beers change and how much more difficult maybe, or what the differences are in trying to sell it and stand out amongst everybody else trying to do the same thing.
So the analogy I always go with is the pie is always going to stay the same size, but the slices get smaller and smaller as you go along. And what that means is there are more and more breweries that make awesome beer.
Right.
And every bar, restaurant, distributor, they all have these options to choose from, and they'll bring you in. But the worst possible thing that can happen is if you're at a bar and your tap handle is sitting there every day, day after day, and your beer's not selling, and all I think is, this guy just sold me something that's not moving.
Yeah.
When they could have something else. So it's how do you resonate with your customers, like the actual beer drinkers, and how do you resonate with the bar owners? So the big change I've seen is there's been a huge flood in the market of great craft breweries.
Yep.
And it's really, how do you stand out?
Sure.
A lot of it is relationship built, and the friendships you make, which is the whole reason I got into beer. That's because it's very much just hang out, talk to people like we're doing right now.
It's the best community. The beer people are the best people. We always say that. Yeah.
And they always say, like, hey, the best deals on like Wall Street and everything were done over a beer at a bar. And I really took that philosophy, and I like to hang out and have a good time and actually get to know the bars that I work with. And I think that's where we stand apart, is we're very much grassroots, if you will, and we want to know the people we're selling to. We want to develop a relationship with them, and we want them to know that, we're here for them. And hey, if something's not working, like, let's go, let's fix it, let's figure it out. But the big change I've seen is just the influx of a ton of different breweries. And I mean, it definitely makes it difficult, but there are many facets that can set you apart, and that's one of them.
Yeah, I would think nowadays it's not even just competing against other PA breweries. I think we always say we're very lucky. This market, it is such a good beer market.
It's lucky for us.
Lucky for us because
well, it's good for all of us.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
people like, the more people that love good beers, the more places that want good beer and need our beer. And
I get the feeling, the perception that our market buys a lot of craft beer and knows their stuff, because a beer store here and a beer store in Nebraska is completely different.
Yeah.
As far as the selection that you can get, it's and we say this all the time, I feel like a broken record, but when you go into an Exton beverage or in a Thorndale beverage, and there's just can after can after can, 4-packs on the shelf, and there's so many options. It's great that they're buying all of these beers and putting them on the shelf. But, I think it's difficult to get somebody, that customer, to find you and when they have so many options and they're trying to pick something out. So I think between that and then, I guess, how do you combat that? I mean, I guess you have to have a good brand so that people know to look for you.
Yeah.
And pick you out of that group.
All right. So the good brand is one thing, but which I personally think we are.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that always stands out, it goes the same with books, movies, wine, whatever it may be. People are impulsive. Like, you ever walk into Marshall's down the street, you go through the aisle to pay, and there's a million things that you just end up picking up and buying. People are impulsive, so you need to stand out with cans and tap handles. Those are the big things, and even names. Those are the big things that stand out to people. So the guy that does our labels, Corey Danks, right?
Amazing.
He is just amazing. He designed basically the mural. He didn't put it up, but he designed the mural.
Yep.
He designs all of our cans. The stuff is amazing, and the artwork is amazing. It's not too flashy, but it's not too subtle.
I love the cans.
Yeah,
I love all the artwork. It's
think,
awesome.
I think they're amazing. And so the one thing I always preach when I go out into the market is the billboard effect, right? You want all your stuff in a succinct line, either stacked on top of each other, on the shelves near each other.
Sure.
To create a billboard effect, some continuity. And when you do see that, it goes far. I mean, people see these cans and they'll buy it. They might be like, all right, I need a hazy IPA, right? They'll look at 2 different hazy IPAs. And I mean, this is hearsay, but I would say 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with the can they like more.
Sure.
Right.
No, I do that all the time. We buy stuff just based on the can and forget to look at the dates, but
that's
but you just that's
until you get home and you're about ready to crack it.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
So you made it then.
So I'm kind of curious, just for my own personal brain. What's the differences between selling to a place like Thorndale Beverage versus selling to a bar that's going to put you on tap, selling kegs and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's fair. So the differences are pretty great, but also not that much at the same time.
Okay.
The big thing with a bar is, like I said before, you want your beer to move, and you really want to work with them because they know what their clientele are going to drink, right? If their clientele hates Belgian beers, don't sell them a Belgian beer. Yeah. You want it to move as quickly as possible because you want the next thing to go on, because you want people to enjoy your beer. Whereas with the beer distributor, while that's the same thing, you guys just mentioned looking at dates. You don't want your beer to hang around because, everyone's looking for the freshest, nicest thing.
Sure, yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to, give them what they want, but you want to make sure they keep reordering the fresh stuff over and over and over again. And one of the luxuries that we have here, being the size that we are, and going through Lamb Beverage, which is our wholesaler, and kind of pumping it out at such an aggressive rate, you don't get that lag time. So you're not going to, especially in Chester County, you're not going to find anything over like a month, 2 months old. It's just in and out. It's a revolving door.
Yep.
And that's what people want. I mean, any craft beer aficionado is going to look at the bottom of the can or the top of the can, wherever they have the date stamped. That's the first thing they're going to look for.
Yep.
Right. If they're going between two, they're going to look at the labels and they want a cool label, whether it's an Instagram moment or what it may be. But they're going to look at the date. And so the fact that we can get it moving as quick as we can.
Yeah.
You don't want to flood people with, everyone wants to have the best stock they can possibly have.
Sure.
So that's like one of the challenges is like, hey, almost underselling in a way is like, hey, listen, we want you to have everything we have, obviously. But let's start here and let's get this moving. And I think that's one of the biggest pluses to Stolen Sun is, especially in this area, you're going to find a lot of fresh beer.
Yeah.
Well, and we have Pat on the road every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a huge difference too. Like a lot of brewers our size may not have a dedicated, 40 hours a week you're out on the road hitting, like working with the distributors that we have, working with the accounts that we have, making sure the beer is fresh. Like that is super important to our brand.
And you're spreading out the footprint too, right? Like you're reaching out further and further.
Absolutely. And through my experience in the craft beer world, I have other counties that I've worked with. So Lancaster's been a huge one for us.
Yeah, huge.
They've been awesome. And any listener that has been to Lancaster, go. It's changed completely. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
They got a lot of great beers out there. They got a lot of great beer bars. But I'm out there as much as I can be. And I know one of the things that really helps a brand grow, especially in a new area, is doing events to help that brand be recognized. So whether it be a tap takeover, which they're not really my forte, I like doing something a little more outside the box. So whether it be bingo, I have a putt set where if you sink a putt, you get a free beer.
Nice.
And I usually work with the bar to cover the cost.
Yeah.
Of that. But it's something different. And I think being different stands out. But yeah, doing these events too, and like getting the liquid to lips is huge.
Sure.
In the industry. And just, showing people what you got, because there's a million things out there. What are you going to choose?
That's gotta be a big part of it. Like, we know the liquid is amazing. You guys are cranking out incredible beers, but you just have to get somebody new, hopefully, to try them.
For sure. And
that's the name of the
not
game.
Even just like new people. We want our brand to be, when people want IPA, they ask for Stolen Sun, just like everyone else who owns a brewery.
Yeah.
And runs it. Like that's
to be a staple.
We want to be a staple. Like new drinkers are great, and awesome. And that helps us build our brand, but it's really about maintaining our core business of people that love our beer.
And my big philosophy is, we mentioned our core beer earlier. Like the greater your foundation of your core beer is, the better you're going to be as a brewery as a whole. So if people want baby juices, new Exton, Jumpy Johns, whatever.
Everyone wants baby juices.
Yeah, everyone. They really do.
Yeah.
the more they want that core beer that they're always going to be able to get, the better you're going to be. And I mean, one of the big things that we've really taken into account and that I've really put a huge effort into is beer festivals.
Yeah.
Done a lot of them. I've had ones that I've done in the past, so I'm doing them now. It's getting that liquid to as many lips as possible to realize, hey, this is who we are, and you know, less about selling yourself and more about selling the experience.
Yeah. I believe it. Let's talk about Quack real quick, because I already finished that one. Did you already did Quack, right?
Yeah, I already finished my
It's
Quack.
too easy to drink that beer.
Oh my god. It's got a great maple sweetness to it. It's so good. It's like dessert. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that beer was in the Kennett Winterfest cases
Yeah.
last year.
I wasn't here
Oh,
last
yes,
year.
it was.
Was
Yeah.
it
So-
Actually, it was.
Yeah.
That's right. I
So
forgot about that.
we got the Kennett cases, and in true, you know, alcoholic fashion, we decided to have
You funneled every beer.
We did, absolutely.
Perfect.
There was four of us, five of us, and we worked through a case a night, and we ranked
It's a
all
lot
the
of beer,
beers.
man.
It was
That was a lot of fun.
It
'Cause
was,
we would
yeah,
do
it was a
like
lot of beer.
this, you know, we would pour it
Yeah.
out, everybody would share it, and then we would put the can ahead or behind something
Yeah.
else. So we had them in some kind of order.
And Quack of Dawn was darn near the top of that case. I don't exactly remember if it was first, second, or third, but I know
Yeah.
it was
It was at the
definitely
top.
up at the top.
That one definitely stood out.
So you
It's
guys
such a good
just re-released it last week.
Yeah.
How'd the release go? You know, you had some donuts
It
here.
was great. We did our donut pairing with we did with Quack, and we did with the cherry, which we'll try a little bit later. But you know, it's a fun beer to brew. We work with Duck Donuts. It's in Westchester, and we basically take all the ingredients. You know, we even take the donuts and we like circulate them through our finished beer. It's pretty weird, but the result is delicious.
Yeah,
Absolutely delicious.
it's fantastic.
And the cool thing is, like, this is batch 3 now, and I can tell, like, from the first batch to like this batch here, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean-
it's dialed in.
Kudos to Chris. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
she freaking kills it day in and day out, and like dials it in. You know.
Yeah, they're all amazing. And you know, talking about the IPAs earlier, I think when it comes to IPAs, I don't know of another local brewery that does them as good as you guys.
Nice.
Like I just
Awesome. Thank
love the I'm trying to think of all the other ones, but Jay-Z Hazy for sure is one of my like all-time favorites
I mean,
in the
New
area.
Exton, the staple, like
Yeah.
East Coast we have here. Is
6 feet of
fantastic.
separation. I
Yeah.
love that beer.
Yeah,
I love that beer.
Just wait till you have the hophead.
Yeah.
It's It's
Okay.
I mean, like I said before, it's blasphemy, but I like it better than Jay-Z.
Now, holy shit, this beer I just started sipping on, and it completely changed my facial expressions and rewired my brain a little bit.
The
So,
beer
yeah, I was just gonna ask about this one. I feel like I'm getting something, but I want you to tell me exactly what we're drinking before I think I'm
So this
drinking what I'm
is
drinking.
Beer Duckin'. It's our third year of doing Beer Duckin'. It's our annual Thanksgiving release. We start with green beans that go into a bourbon barrel that we got from Brandywine Branch Distillery. We aged those for about 7 months.
Not the vegetable.
Green coffee.
Haricot
Just to
Vert,
be
That
clear.
would be that'd be hysterical.
green bean casserole.
No one's doing green bean
casserole
beers.
stout.
Yeah,
No
it's
one
almost
does that.
Thanksgiving.
No
You
one
ain't getting
does
a
that.
vegetable
You sure?
stout anywhere but here.
Funyuns on top. It's gonna be awesome. Good days. Good days ahead. So then I pull it out of the barrel, I roast it, and then we put that into a Russian Imperial Stout.
So you roasted beans that soaked in the stout or
They're just in the terroir of the barrel, the same
Okay.
way you would take like a Imperial Stout and put it into
okay,
a bourbon.
gotcha.
We actually
It's bourbon
change our
barrel aged.
process where we
beans.
age the coffee, roast the coffee, and then we put that into an Imperial Stout.
Gotcha.
So what you're tasting is the barrel aged coffee.
Barrel aged coffee. Crazy.
Yeah, it's
Because I feel like I definitely get barrel, but I feel like I definitely get green coffee. Like I feel like it's kind of like it's not like a too roasty. Like a
Interesting. Well,
See,
I mean,
I was actually getting roasty. I was getting almost like a little smoke note to it.
See, what I get is it doesn't drink like an almost 11% beer.
Yes.
it
No.
drinks
Well, and
it drinks like a 6.
and
which is-
remember, notes of bourbon can be caramel,
Bourbon,
vanilla.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, the
you're
caramel
getting
in
the
there kind of thing.
sweetness
Yeah.
of the bourbon in the coffee, and then the roasty notes.
Because if a to me, and I'm not an expert in coffee whatsoever. Like I just drink like
Folgers.
like Starbucks
Do
Pikes.
you really? No,
The
please.
Starbucks Pikes place is like what we have in our coffee maker every day.
We're not far from you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, when we drank
Starbucks is like out.
in like West Coast, right? Yeah,
Pacific Northwest, Seattle.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you introduced me to not dark roasted coffee, I was really blown away by like how much flavor there was, and you know that kind of like I don't know what to call it. Is it like more of a raw bean?
Is that still
is that raw?
Is that
No.
tannins?
What do you call it?
They're fully developed coffees. They're just we maintain the fruit of the coffee in the roast.
Yeah, so you get a lot of that fruitiness.
Total sweetness. Like if you were to
Yeah.
eat a green bean, it would taste like chalk,
Okay.
or it wouldn't taste good.
Yeah.
It would taste like you were eating.
Chalk.
Yeah,
But like
Yummy.
for whatever reason, I feel like I'm getting like a less roasty coffee, like a more flavorful coffee or something out of it, where it's not like just straight bitter coffee. It's
right. So this is a lighter roast
okay. Maybe that's what
that's
it is.
in there. Right. We're not
Yeah.
heavily roasting because we want to maintain the barrel aged coffee.
Sure.
If I roast it a lot, I just burn it
All off.
Yeah.
And this
So
is still pretty fresh, right?
Super fresh.
It's been in the tank. It's about ready to be centrifuged, actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of pouring,
Yeah.
that was super fresh.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so good.
And if
I'm loving that.
you don't mind, I mean, the Quack of Dawn, because we kind of went over
Yeah.
that pretty quick. I know you mentioned the Fuel by Hops thing earlier.
Yeah.
We took Quack of Dawn out to Pittsburgh, which is the first time we've ever been out to Pittsburgh.
Nice. Yeah.
We took it to a festival out there, sponsored by Fuel by Hops and Mike's Beer Bar, which is like right across from the stadium. And Quack Dawn actually like received like the top 5 within
That's
the top
amazing.
5
Nice.
out of like other breweries like Abomination, The Answer, Monday, like a bunch of awesome, solid,
Yeah.
great breweries. So
That are well known in that area.
For sure,
they're-
yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
their home. So
it was a huge testament to just the craft and what
Yeah.
we're trying to.
Guys
do
were
here.
playing a
That's
road
huge.
game out there.
yeah, right.
We,
Exactly.
we were, and greatly enough, the Flyers won, and the Penguins lost that exact night after the festival. So that's always good too. But
Just twist that in a little bit.
yeah, as much as I can. Sorry, Pittsburgh fan.
Even though Pittsburgh's still missing like their top 8 guys or something.
Yeah, well,
Wow. Screw 'em.
record's a record.
F 'em.
But yeah, the Quack and Dawn did great. We also brought the Marshmallow Jumpy Johns out there, and it was super well received, and people in Pittsburgh loved it, man. It was at Spirit, which is a cool like punk bar, which was super rad, and we had a great time. And I mean, being the first time that Stolen Sun was out in Pittsburgh and people loving it,
Yeah, that's huge.
that's all I could ask for. And I mean, I hate to interrupt, but like I
Yeah,
just
no.
wanted to note that we're having Quack Dawn, and it's something that did really well out there and was well received, and people liked it. I actually had a person travel from like not just for us, but for the whole festival. They traveled, I think, from Nebraska, which we oddly enough mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, but they traveled from the center of the nation to come out to this festival and then visit family. But they were like, that was our favorite beer of the evening. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it was great.
So how long until their Stolen Sun Pittsburgh opening up?
Hopefully soon.
Honestly,
Yeah,
hopefully the new year.
Like that's the goal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we want to hit like good beer markets. Like that's what our goal is, to be in like places that love beer.
Yeah.
And I used to brew in Pittsburgh too, so I
Yeah.
love Pittsburgh. I lived there for about 5 years.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
Built a brewery there, brewed there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
think we talked about that. I remember that. Yeah.
Way back in the 90s,
Yeah. Crazy.
the 1890s.
Crazy stuff.
I do. Yeah, you got the 1890s haircut.
I know.
now, right? What's really cool about Pittsburgh is, I mean, they're a very local centric craft beer scene in terms of like a 5-mile radius local centric. I mean, they got like Dancing Gnome and The Answer and Hitchhiker and all these awesome breweries out there.
Yeah.
And for us to be welcomed with open arms and that heavily accepted and
Yeah.
like people actively asking for us, that's a really cool feeling.
I can't imagine. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so cool that, you know, you can go out to a completely different market like that and show it to somebody and for them to be that excited for it. That's amazing. Before we take a break, what's it like having a rock star son?
It's awesome. It really is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, we have a really good time.
I mean, so what's new with Dylan? If you guys don't know, Dylan Zangwa was on the America's
AGT.
Yeah, AGT. And
that's what the kids say.
What an amazing episode that was. It was just awesome that I think I told this before, but I was so excited for it. The whole family was watching. We're sitting down on the couch, waiting for it. And then they do like a montage, like 75% through of just like a bunch of acts.
Yes.
And I'm like, if they put him in this montage, I'm flipping tables.
That's crazy. And like, we had a viewing party here, a bunch of Dylan's friends, our friends. Like, it was an awesome night. And that montage you're talking about happened.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't know anything what's going on. They literally tell you like,
anything.
the Thursday before the show. And if you remember, that was the last show that it was the 6th or final AGT show where people are going to go on. So until that Thursday, we were like, I can't believe we're not going to be on this, because I knew that, like, we knew that he killed it.
Yeah.
Like, we knew that, like, the judge's response and everything else. Like, we were like, I can't believe this is. And again, like, we don't have much of a story. We're just, you know,
that I told you,
suburban people from Exton.
Yeah. What
when I
story.
talked to you in here, when you told me he was on there, I told you should have faked a death.
Yeah.
You should have faked some sort of disease so you could have gotten on to the next round, but you couldn't do it.
I gotta tell you, one of the comments on YouTube was they just love that Dylan didn't have a sob story. He's like, listen, I don't like talking about myself or whatever, you know, I'm just me. I like kind of focusing on my music, like, and I like hearing other people's stories, right? And people were going off about how Simon Cowell was trying to, like, essentially get him to, like, talk about having
an issue.
an issue being bullied or whatever.
Yeah. You have a hard time at school, you know, stuff like that. It's like,
do people know you do it? And someone's the top comment that cracked me up was, they live in Exton. That is the sob story. And I could not stop laughing. Growing up here my whole life, I grew up in downtown. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard. And Dylan thought it was too. It was great.
That's wild.
Does he have a manager yet?
It's me,
John.
It's me.
I was gonna try and weasel in on that.
Yeah. Was that 5%? Is that what the manager gets?
I get nothing. I literally, like, it's all him.
You
like,
get to buy him guitars.
Someone asked me the other day, like, well, who do I make the check out to? And I'm like, to him. Like, I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
so
not
crazy.
destitute yet. Like,
And
he
just dropped a single, right?
Yeah, he just dropped a single, Open Door. Fantastic song.
That's awesome.
He's got like people actively like we're
pursuing.
having. Yeah, it's awesome. It's crazy.
And I mean,
it's insane.
He's playing at the Creamery.
Yeah, he's going to the Creamery on Saturday
in Kennett Square, so right on the border of Delaware there. So Delaware folks, PA folks, if you love Dylan, which we all do,
and if you love Stolen Son, because we all work together. So because of the fact that I'm booking Dylan, like,
it's a package deal.
Yeah, it's a package deal.
It's a tap takeover with actually Quack and Dawn will be on there and a bunch of other great beers. But yeah, Dylan's going to be playing there from 6:30 to 9:30.
Yeah, 6:30.
That's the place people keep telling me to go, isn't it?
It's awesome.
It's an awesome.
It's a cool spot. Yeah, it's a really cool spot.
Yeah, we got to check that out.
Yeah, he's going to be playing, and dude, he kills it. Like when we were at Kennett, like you guys were, he set the speaker on fire.
Yeah.
Like he didn't take a match and set it on fire.
But it started smoking. Yeah.
He's actually, I think we finalized it. Like, he's playing the next Kennett, the Beer Fest.
The Winterfest.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Just
Winterfest.
him. Yeah, he's the headliner.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. And people loved him. I mean, that experience, like, you guys were on the other side, so didn't really see.
Yeah.
But, like, people were all over the place when he started playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
cool.
was an insane time. And I mean, when I see Dylan, sometimes I catch him on like those peak times where it's like he just loved it. Like when he has a big crowd in front of him, like, you can tell
he's in his
he
element.
loves it. He's in his element.
Oh,
like he
amazing.
is like a rock star.
Yeah.
Like, like it's insane. he's got we're doing the Philly Christmas tree lighting, so he's going to be performing on that, and that's like that's an NBC gig.
Yeah,
and the Bowie thing.
And he's doing Philly Loves Bowie in January at the Union Transfer Center.
holy crap!
It's insane.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unbelievable. And he's doing like he's doing the national anthem at the National Pet Show.
I think that's
in
an Oaks,
November.
right?
Yeah, it's an Oaks.
Yeah,
That's
so
like a big pet show.
it's
like
a big deal.
dog show.
Yes,
yeah.
it's a televised.
Yeah.
That's what that movie was based off of. The dog show movie.
Yeah.
I forget what that was.
Best in
in
Show.
Best in Show. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that was based off of. Yeah.
But getting back to the point where you're like, I'm gonna flip tables, like literally that scene came on, and
did you have that feeling for a
the
minute?
exact. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually funny that you had that.
Yeah,
That same kind of. It's like, oh, we're gonna be one of these like 10-second
Yeah.
things. It was like, oh my god, and it ended, and I went upstairs and I was like, we're gonna be.
yeah. I'm like, it's
I-
getting
I-
later.
I
It's
knew-
getting later.
I knew when that happened, like
Yeah.
we were gonna, and he got a huge bit in there.
Oh,
and it
my
was
goodness.
A
awesome.
huge bit.
It was huge.
It's the
so
pimp spot. I think they call that.
It
The last
was-
segment is the pimp spot.
It was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was
so,
the closeout, which is great.
Yeah, it was so cool.
but it's a great experience. Like,
What a
Yeah.
great kid, man. I
To-
just love his attitude about everything, that he's just like so down to earth. Like, hey, I'm just having a good time, having fun, like
That's
doing
it.
what I love.
that's it.
That's it.
He gets no
There's-
stress over it. He
No.
literally just like, okay, it's time for me to play. He just goes up, and it's
Yeah.
like he's a professional. He's
And
a-
like I said, Kenneth, he doesn't even warm up. He just
Yeah.
goes up.
Just sat down and
Wham!
yeah,
Yeah.
he literally goes from the porta potty to the.
Yeah.
It's just like, all
Yeah.
right, now it's time to play.
Yeah, and then
Here
knocks
we go.
everybody off their
and
feet.
just people are just like, what's going on?
It's insane.
I always see these weird looks from people, and they just they don't. Sometimes they're just listening to it for a while without looking, and then they look back and they're like, "What's going on?"
They're like, that's not a recording. Yeah, he's 0 to 100. Literally
Yeah.
before he sings, he's shooting bottle caps at John and I.
Yeah.
He twists the water bottle and
Yes, exploding. I'm like,
Exploding
stop! I'm
water.
like, stop doing that.
this is literally a
Yeah.
reoccurring
He's
thing.
still 14.
Ever.
I'm like, stop it!
Yes.
Don't do
Yeah.
that. You're gonna hurt someone.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
his life. And then he just goes up and kills it and
Yeah.
sings and
The best point is when people are just awed by it, and they're like, "Your daughter is amazing." And I just look at him. I'm like, long hair grows in our, goes in
Yeah.
our family. Like that's, like really.
But he sings
That's, I know.
weird. He sings in a low register a lot.
Yes.
Like he's
Yeah, he
not.
does.
I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it
No.
happens quite a bit. And I'm like, no.
it does. But I'll tell you, when he's not doing something like Kennett Brewfest, like we did Ludwig's up there, we did their horse show, or not their horse show, rather their carnival. He had like a flock of like 50 15-year-old girls just waiting for him off the stage. Just like, can I get your autograph? It was the funniest and coolest thing I've ever
Shout
seen.
out Chris
Yeah.
from Beer, Bourbon, and Games just chimed in. He just asked, does he have any groupies yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, Pat, it was a pleasure
Hey, man.
hanging
nice
out
meeting
with you and
guys,
getting to
too.
know you. Everybody look out for Pat at your local establishment. Hopefully he's coming in there and dropping some beer off. But let's take a quick break, which we normally don't do when we're live streaming, but we're going to take as quick of a break as we can.
Right.
And we're going to come back with Chef Billy.
Billy.
Yeah.
I remember Billy's name, not your name for some reason.
Well,
I'm going to forget your name.
Yeah, well, every brewery needs a Pat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I'm not Irish
Hopefully-
at all either.
Yeah.
Which
Hopefully
people are
it
like,
sinks
"You're Irish."
in.
Yeah,
Are
I
we-
just feel
one
bad
day.
that I remembered Billy and I talked to him for half the time I did you, but
That's
what
fine.
it is.
You know,
Are we going to leave the live stream running?
I guess.
Yeah, let's leave it up.
We'll leave it up.
People watch us eat.
Just watch us hang
Yeah.
out here for a little bit.
Yeah, it
Cool.
sounds good. All right, thanks, guys.
critique their eating.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Yeah, how much different it is? I don't want to lose anybody that's watching, so we stopped the recording on the shit. That means I'm going to need Taylor. So if I go to, I don't know, I'm going to mess this up. I'm worried. How to start re-recording on this.
That I don't know.
Taylor. Let's see how it goes. I want to get a flight of IPAs, maybe. What are you in the mood to do next?
Definitely an IPA or two. I definitely want to try that Belgian blonde.
Did you ever do the cherry?
Yes, I did do the
I love cherry. I think I have one in the fridge in Delaware.
Philly.
Cherry. I guess we'll leave the live stream up so they can watch. I love baby juices. Is that on? That's always on. You got baby juices on, right? Yeah, it's always on. What did Brett say? First time Laura and I saw Dylan, we thought, wow, this guy needed to be found on one of those TV shows. Yeah. Yeah. Our buddy Brett. First time Laura and I saw Dylan, we thought, wow, this guy need to get found by one of those TV shows. Yeah. So it happened. Thanks, sir. Agreed, Brett. So I don't know if you saw that last one. Is there any plans for Jumpy John's barrel aged? I mean, Beer Duckin is pretty close. I mean, that's a Java. That's a coffee.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we have space too, like that's probably one of our next ventures that we start to do some barrel aging. We got all these like little pet projects we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing so great with stouts, and I don't know. I mean, that's an easy move for somebody like me. Like I just barrel stouts are just my favorite. Yeah. I think a lot of people probably feel the same way, but
well, I mean, Beer Duckin is pretty much our barrel stout.
Yeah,
it just is an opposite way of thinking about it.
Sure.
Instead of like putting the beer in the barrel for 6 months, we put the coffee.
Yeah, it's such a unique way to do it.
That's the way we do it.
That's so cool. It's such like a unique approach, and it's fantastic. It doesn't taste like it's not like it's missing something.
Right.
You know, it's just a different way to do it, and it's straight fire. Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
We should have food in a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah. No rush. Brett says he's all in on Jumpy John Barrel Age. Just wax the top of it, and it'll sell like crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the problem with the bottles is like we literally have to like when we bottle Beer Duckin, it's one bottle at a time.
Yeah. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a bottle filler. Like everything's cans these days. So
yeah.
We do bottle.
But you're gonna do bottles?
We're counting. Yeah,
or are you gonna can it? What are you gonna do?
No, we do bottles.
Okay.
Yeah, and we counter pressure fill it.
Yeah.
Just
takes forever.
It takes forever. I don't do it personally, so
I'm excited for it.
Oh, it's awesome. Every year it's great.
I'm gonna get a couple bottles of that because that shit was amazing. Sweet. Look at that.
Jumpy John. Or
Jay-Z Haze.
I'm like Jumpy John, Jay-Z Haze. It's part of my narcissist series. And he's like right behind me too. Oh, there he is.
Laying down, chilling. I don't know if we can get him.
I love this mural.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It was amazing to actually like.
I see Corporate Monkey.
Yep, there's Corporate Monkey.
He's there.
This
and
is
then
definitely...
that's 6. Is that? No, that's not 6 feet of separation, is it?
No, that's.
Which one's that?
Voice of Reason.
Voice of Reason. Yeah, I love that one too.
Oh, Voice of Reason is insane.
I love that beer.
It's definitely our best backdrop. By far.
There's Ghost of Uncle John's up to the left, which we're going to drink in this series.
Unicorn
tarts. I forget. Saffraget over here. Uncle John. New Exton. The little crab there, New Exton.
Is that New Exton?
Yeah. Mount Zangwill. is over there.
That looks like you guys, especially Dylan
Yeah,
and your wife.
Deirdre.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool to have this. The amazing thing is we're just going to keep going this way with it.
Are you?
Because by the time like this was designed and put
Yeah.
up, we had like, all kinds of other crazy graphics. It's like they're going to constantly be produced. So we're just going to continue on all around this place until we.
Where are those hop pendants from? Were those a custom job, or did you buy those from
I
somebody?
think they're like geometric lights.
I think I want one of those for
I
my
know.
basement.
We've had some customers like, oh yeah, I forget whether we got them on like Etsy or whatever. It was
That's
one of those
amazing.
sites.
Yeah.
And I saw them and I was like, I think I could put changing color lights in there, and people love them. People take pictures with them all the time.
Yeah, I think I need one of those.
Yeah. I'm gonna snap some pictures of that.
Yeah, and customers like, oh, we put them up at our bar at home. We love them.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. There's another empty glass. What does that mean? Is that for
that's Jay-Z
Jay-Z's?
Hazy's
Okay.
in cans right now. So, as we always try to figure out the perfect equation for draft and cans, inevitably you have more of one than the other.
My neighbor next door, Miles, I get the feeling he's a bit of a hippie. So he probably is into a lot of the same shit that you guys might be, as far as like music and stuff that I don't know. But he was walking around with a Jay-Z Hazy in his backyard. And I was like, oh, you like that beer? He's like, man, this is the best beer around. He's like, this is my favorite beer. And he likes good beer. He brought me like a heady topper. Like, so I know he knows his stuff. But yeah, he loves it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep one of those. So I'll give a shout out now while we're not recording. I'll probably do it again. I don't know if we're going to go live. I'm still like a game time decision on that.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. But tomorrow, Mr. Steve and I are going to be doing a road game ourselves. We're going to be traveling down to Delaware and doing a show with Thompson Island out of Rehoboth.
Cool.
So that one won't release for a couple of weeks, but we might go live and record it online as well as on the board, but we'll see.
Oh, here comes
We will see. Here comes some more stuff. I'm super excited to try the food. The menu has just been looking insane.
Yeah.
Let's lower these down and we'll
you want to be.
Don't worry about being too loud.
Yeah, it's better to be close to it.
Gotcha.
As soon as if you can hear my voice now, and then if I just turn away a little bit, the volume goes way down.
Yeah.
So it's good to be close to it and try to project into it right into the end of the into the tip.
If you're too loud, I'll take care of it over
I got
here.
a pretty loud voice.
So we're pretty much going to talk about everything just talked about again.
Cool.
But we're going to mix in some beers. So we had a little bit of practice. I cannot wait to talk about those wings. I might end up eating another one. But should we? Let me see if I'm here.
Thanks to the people out there that hung with us through our little food break there.
I think we're at the same numbers we were when we took a break. So
we didn't want to be chomping into the microphones for you people. The break was for you people.
Yeah. They'll get jealous anyway. You know, they're like, whoa, you're eating food? What's going on there?
And we got a bunch more IPAs here. You ready to hop into it?
I'm ready. You ready?
You guys ready?
Yeah. Because it's probably time for a beer anyways, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a lot of food without beer.
And we're back. We are back. Everybody's favorite line. So we're now joined by a new guest from Stolen Son. We've got Billy, who is what's the official title? The head chef?
Yep.
The new head chef here. How long have you been here?
Like 3.5 months.
Nice.
Like maybe 4.
I was gonna guess 4, but
is it close to 4? Oh yeah, no, you know what? 3 days will be 4 months. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll call it 4 months.
3 days. 3 days.
4-month anniversary. Awesome. Well, I mean, so before we get into like the menu and the food and stuff like that, why don't you tell us a little bit of the history, maybe of your background and what got you here?
So I'm from Reading, still live in Reading. Opened 6 restaurants. 2 of them were breweries before this. Yeah, dude, like I just love like creating and just opening up new places, helping people out. I kind of met John through other people. Like I came down here one time and I was just like, this place is awesome. And I knew a guy that knew John and I was like, that place is cool. And I saw they were hiring and I was like, let me check it out.
Yeah.
You know, like thought it would be a cool place to work. They always said like, he's a cool guy. And yeah, just kind of like we talked. I thought this would be a good spot for me.
Nice.
I mean, I'm still in Reading, like I actually North Reading, so I'm like an hour away. But like, honestly, every day it just feels like I'm starting something new. I love being creative, passionate about what I do. Truthfully.
Yeah, that's exciting. Tell us about what it's like, how important it is to have a kitchen in a brewery.
Period.
Yeah.
Amazing. And not only just to have a kitchen, but I mean, to be coming out of what is arguably some of the worst months, year for
right.
the service industry.
Horrible.
Yep.
Horrible.
Like to be rolling out of it with Billy, and Billy's like kind of helped us get out of the rut. We were in a bad rut.
Yeah.
For a long time. Just because there's no one to work.
Sure.
Like we were just
doing what you can. Yeah.
When Billy came in, our kitchen was literally how many people worked in the kitchen?
2 people, I think.
2.
And like a part-time dishwasher.
Yeah.
Did we have a part-time dishwasher?
Yeah, like one guy who's a college kid.
Oh, yeah.
I forget his name.
But right, exactly. Yeah,
I don't think he's listening.
No, he's
but like literally, we were down to nothing.
Yeah.
To nothing. So, it's been, and then even when Billy got in here, it was like we have 2 employees. It wasn't like all of a sudden you have employees.
Yeah.
We've been just like crawling our way out. And while we've been doing it, like Billy's been taking the reins, like building our smoke program, building our food program, like elevating things, getting people on board. Like, it is huge.
Talk about what it's like to come up with a menu for a brewery.
Oh, I mean, obviously, I've always said like a lot of breweries I go to, they don't use the beer in their food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why
right.
are you not
Yeah.
infusing beer in your food? It's like a weird concept to me. It's like, okay, I'm at a brewery, like, and they make good beer. Why wouldn't I use that beer to like
For
cook?
liquid.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
liquid.
Everyone uses
Like,
liquid in cooking.
Yeah. And I mean, since I've been here, dude, I've like honestly, like almost everything I've done with staple items on the menu and specials, I try to infuse beer into it. Like that's why we're here. Like we're trying to sell beer. It's amazing beer. Like I love drinking beer. So like, I mean, I'm going to cook with it. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I don't know. Like it's just working at a brewery. It's kind of cool. Like you get both aspects, and if you have good beer, it actually makes your food elevate. Like, because the taste, it's obviously the taste of the beer is infused in the beer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, like all of our smoked meats, they're all braised.
Oh, yeah.
Braised in beer.
Yeah.
Like beer is the liquid. If we're spraying stuff on them, it's like beer, like beer, and coffee.
Coffee too.
Like, forget about the coffee. Like coffee's in like all
you
of
just
our
ate
rubs,
the wings.
The
You
wings.
just ate the wings with
Coffee
the coffee rub, dude.
Coffee is all over everything.
Yeah, he's reaching for another one.
So,
Dude.
well, I was gonna say let's hop into the wings, because first off, your wings are smoked.
Yes, we smoke our wings.
And that's all new. Like,
That is new. Yeah.
We used to like bake them and then fry.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
yeah,
Willie's taking the smoker over, and
it's always running. It's almost
running.
always, and it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of hours, but it just elevates food. I love smoking like anything, vegetables, meats, like whatever, man. We like I'm thinking about doing like cold smoked like cheeses and stuff. Oh yeah, man. Like just elevating it and just trying to get into the smoking. Everything. Man.
That's what happens to me is like every time that I get the smoker rolling, right? And it's hours and hours that there's a pork butt or a brisket or something on that you just start finding things to put on. Like,
dude,
I'm just
I do
gonna
it all the time. I'm like, those jalapenos right there.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm just gonna throw these in the smoker. Yeah, like whatever, man. Like,
like,
you find things. What does this taste like if it's smoked? And you just like find some random vegetable or something.
The worst is at home when you like open your freezer up and you're like, let me try this, and you realize it's been in the freezer for like 3 years, and you smoke it, and you eat it, and you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Trial and error.
That's smoking gone bad. And it happens. That's real.
It happens a lot. Yeah.
So as a shitty home smoker, the worst thing for me with trying to do wings is getting that skin nice and crisp.
Oh yeah, man.
You guys have achieved that.
Yeah, we smoke it hot, man. You got to do it hot.
You're doing it hot.
Yeah, but you got to keep an eye. Yeah, hot and fast. You got to keep an eye on it though. Like it can go too far. It's like there's a in between stage where you're just like, oh my god, I got to get these out, you know. And then I mean, we obviously flash fry them because we're a restaurant.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not serving you like
You're not
right out the
holding it.
smoker all day long.
Well, but that's the trick, honestly.
Well, that's
Like,
the tough part. That's the art.
Even if you're smoking at home,
Yeah.
like
Throw 'em in
honestly,
some
like you
vegetable
smoke
oil,
it and
canola
then you
oil.
get flames going, and you freaking sear that all those wings, and that's how you get them crispy.
And really, like he's saying, it's perfect like on a grill too. If you smoke it, get that grill up to like 500 degrees, and just throw it on the top of the grill. You get the grill marks, the char
Literally
on it.
like 10, 15 seconds each
dude,
side.
that's it.
And
Yeah,
that's how you crisp up the skin.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what are the two different types of wings that you guys got here for us?
We just started a new dry rub made with our coffee. It's the Java rub. It's sweet, little spicy, not crazy. Got the coffee aroma, coffee taste. It's phenomenal, man. People are loving it. We got a crew here that comes in like every Wednesday. We call them the wing guys. They're like, Billy, give us that, because I told them about it, and they're like, dude, this is amazing. They've come back for 3 weeks, and that's all they're ordering.
I get it. I got to say, I haven't had a ton of dry rub wings, but those wings just by themselves before the sauce were some of the best wings I've ever had.
Cool, man.
Like what it's tossed in, that seasoning, that rub is, to me, incredibly well balanced. Because there's stuff that you can, I don't know, man. I feel like when you become a beer drinker and you really start to appreciate beers, you start to have like, we're no experts at all, but I feel like we have a slightly elevated palate, let's say.
Yeah.
We can pick out some things. We can tell when stuff's not balanced or there's too much of this and there's something missing. It's not the right ride of whatever. I mean, I feel like those things had the perfect balance of sweet, salty, little bit of heat.
Yeah.
And the wings, the actual meat has a ton of flavor.
Yes.
What are you doing before the wings go on?
We actually rub our wings too before you're gonna like. So
is there a brine? Is there a
we
marinade?
We rub them with our signature. We have our own chicken rub.
Okay.
We rub them and then we smoke them and then obviously fry them and then you can get a dry rub. You can get, like we have the Java rub, we have the jerk rub, we have then 10 different sauces, if not more.
Yeah, Billy keeps taking on more and more.
Yeah,
telling him, like, stop doing
I'm
it.
a glutton for
If you do
punishment.
this-
Man. I like it, man. Like honestly, like I just like to move. I like to shake. I like.
But when you get
like
results
coming
like
over
that,
more.
you want to keep producing it
Of
over and
course,
over again.
of
I mean, you
course.
got to, you keep wanting to put that work in.
We're also
to see it happen.
growing as staff wise. Like John said earlier, man, like it was tough when I got here. Like, and even my last job, it was like we were begging people to come to work.
Sure.
Like with what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, and giving people more money than not saying they don't deserve it, but
Yeah.
like than what they're qualified for.
With the yeah.
You know what I mean? So like coming here, it's like I brought a guy with me who's like been with me for like 3 years, 4 years, and it was just me and him.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like just keep the place afloat and serve people, but at the same time trying to give them a good product and trying to elevate what we
and
do
trying
here.
to be optimistic that this is going to end soon.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
honestly
man.
like the
yes.
hardest thing as an owner is seeing that happen.
It is.
It's
Sure.
just like I hope we get, and every
Yeah.
week you're like, did
this-
anyone answer an ad? It's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
I
we
guess,
went-
okay. And I mean, like, honestly,
Oh.
like everyone in this business is in the same, like we are all literally looking for that one more person.
This
Yeah.
is this is the industry that got hit
It's
the hardest.
It
I
did.
mean,
It did. It really did.
Definitely.
And I worked through it
Yeah.
with my last 2 jobs. Like I worked through it and it was struggle.
yeah,
And being an owner, like for John, like I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. how
gut
bad it
wrenching,
Crazy.
Yeah.
multiple like weeks on end.
And you know
Yeah.
what? Honestly, like it's the time after everyone, like all the, sanctions got lifted.
Yeah.
Like that has been the hardest part of it all because slowly people aren't so accepting of things that don't go right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
during when we were all like locked down, everyone's like, I don't really care
It's
what
fine,
happens.
Yeah,
Like,
everything's
yeah.
fine.
I got
yeah.
half my order, right? Sure. Cool.
Sure.
I get it.
yeah,
But as we kind of came out of it and we still didn't have employees,
That's the problem.
like
yeah.
people quickly were like, oh, well, I'm fine. This is great. I'm
yeah.
going out to eat dinner. And, my food took an hour to come out. And that's honestly what we're climbing out of right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is getting like our business back to where we ended, where we had proper service
Yeah.
times. And it's tough.
No, we
Yeah.
see it every week getting better though. It's
Every
It's
week.
actually
It really is.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better. I mean, food's coming out quick. Service is a lot better. Like we're throwing out new beers, new specials, like food specials. We're coming out with every week. Every 2 weeks we run it for 2 weeks, and it's like, yeah, we got it. Like let's do it. I mean, we're still having trouble getting product in and stuff like that, but we work around it. Like we have multiple food suppliers and stuff. And
Yeah.
we're just like, hey, what can you get me? What can you get me? What can you get me? And it's like shopping around, looking on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Finding paper goods.
Yeah,
Oh,
finding
like,
paper goods.
The whole
the
thing's
worst.
completely insane.
Plastic cups.
Oh,
like
that's
it's
wild.
insane, man. It's insane.
And it's not like a 10-minute chore. Like
Yeah.
we like one day I spent like 4 hours
Yes.
trying to get
Absolutely.
these things right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
That's so wild. It's crazy because I feel like so many places try to take on this like just in time mentality
Yeah.
for inventory and things like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we're potentially wasting money by having overstock with stuff sitting around. So let's just, some CEO came in and started a new trend of everything being just in time.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to do it.
You used to be able to do that.
But then it probably ran great until there was any kind of hiccup
Yep.
in supply chain.
Yep.
And then it just,
And it
ruined
was a
everybody.
big hiccup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because the like just for like food costs and labor costs and stuff like that, you're like, I'm just ordering this amount, so my food costs and stuff like that's down. Now it's like, oh, I can get 4 cases of that, and I don't need it.
I'm there.
Order it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Just have to now.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we're all holding on to those like increased, like the reality is like eventually the levee's going to break with like all the extra. I mean, everything's costing an insane amount. Right now.
Yeah.
And we're trying to kind of hold it back and like, what do we got to do? I mean, everything from our green coffee to our, coffee ingredients to everything Billy does. And everything has gone up, and it's not like a couple percent. It's like 15, 20, 30%.
Yeah, sometimes double, triple.
I mean, chicken wings were nuts. They're starting to come back down again.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like, what do we do? Is it like, we're also trying to.
My wife told me I wasn't allowed to buy wings because when I shop, I don't look at prices.
Right.
I don't even look at dates on stuff. She started teaching me,
Well,
but she's like super particular about stuff.
Yeah, I do
She's
that.
so
with
into food service.
I don't do it
Yeah.
for myself. I do it at work though. It's weird.
Yeah. No,
Like I'm like, oh, there's a tomahawk ribeye. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care how much it costs.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
'cause I don't get to like cook a lot for myself at
Yeah.
home. You know what I mean? I'm at work a lot. You know.
That's how I am. I just go out and get whatever
Yeah.
and don't look
Yeah.
and get yelled at later. But that she specifically told me, she was like, "Don't buy wings," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Wings are like double the price right now."
They're
She's like,
crazy.
"Just don't."
Yeah.
They're coming down.
crazy.
They're
Yeah,
coming
that's
down. But
good.
there was
What's weird is like chicken breast is cheaper than wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah.
The labor that goes into it, maybe, who knows? But
The labor, I mean, chicken breast, like boneless chicken breast.
yeah, you would think just as much, right? Just as much labor to break that down versus a
I
wing.
mean,
I don't know.
It is.
Probably
It's
break
Yeah.
it down all at the
it's
same
just,
time.
It's
Yeah.
demand. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
all the restaurants and all the
all of a
sports
sudden people
bars
love
and
chicken
stuff like
wings.
that.
Like, I can't get enough
Chicken
chicken
wings,
wings.
yeah. It's
Like,
a
demand is
staple.
way up.
It's a staple at a
Well,
bar.
There's
you know
no
what I mean?
there's no sporting events going on, but yet demand is crazy
Still
for
eating
chicken
wings.
wings. It's like, I need chicken wings.
You guys are not going to help because these wings, people are going to want these wings.
I
Yeah.
can't. I'm really blown away by these wings. These wings completely knock my socks off.
And for the people that get scared off by dry wings, I don't like a dry wing. There's 4 different sauces right here that you can go with any of them.
And plenty more. There's
Yeah.
more than that.
And you got a white barbecue. What do we have? A red eye.
Red eye barbecue. Yep.
You had a buffalo, and this was a jalapeno.
No,
Chimichurri.
Chimichurri.
Yeah.
So
All of them just.
and they're all like handcrafted. Like there's nothing that comes out of the
Everything.
bottle. that
Everything we
here.
do is.
we talked about this when the volume was down. This is not Frank's hot sauce with
No.
butter in it.
No.
Like this is a crafted buffalo
Yeah.
sauce.
And all of our sauces, we have plenty more. We have like a sriracha honey. We have plenty of sauces and stuff like that for them. Like everything, like is scratch. Everything we make is scratch, handcrafted. Like we put a lot of time and effort into what we do.
Yeah, I
We
like
do.
that white buffalo or the white
the
barbecue.
white
a lot.
barbecue is
It's got that like fresh jalapeno
Yeah.
kind of going on in there. It stands out a lot, but it's delicious. The red eye is really good too. I liked them all.
this
I'm
is the
actually
way to
not a-
do it.
Yeah.
To have a sauce flight.
Oh, don't start.
This
Come
is
on.
the way to do
How
it.
much more difficult do you want to make?
I'm
our
cool
lives?
with that.
I want
Let's
a
do
mini.
it.
I want a
Let's do
mini
it.
paddle.
Right.
I want a paddle of sauces.
Hey, man.
That's what I want.
Let's do it.
You'll get a mini paddle.
Yeah. Dude, every time I see one of these, I freak out just a little bit inside. Just a little bit.
I gotta say too, like this summer, I just completely fell in love with nachos, and I've been ordering nachos like anytime we go out. I think these nachos, that pork is incredible,
Yeah.
and the cheese, everything on it's awesome. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but like for some reason, I just like got nachos somewhere and was like, I can't get enough of these. And it's just become like, I mean, I guess that's why it's on like every menu everywhere.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it just
it's easy to mess up though, man. Like it's
Yeah.
like a lot of like back in the day, it was like you build your nachos up, so you look.
I
Like
was
you have
gonna
all
s-
these
yes.
nachos.
I was
But you
going
get
to
to
say
the
that.
bottom of the nachos, and there's nothing going on there.
Yes.
It's like tortilla chip. Oh wow, look at that. Now it's like
Wide
everybody's
and
doing
flat.
this. Yeah, like spread it out, get it on every nacho. Spread it out where you got beans, you got cheese, you got your protein, your jalapeno, your whatever.
It's because it's the right way to do
it's
it.
the right
Yeah.
way to do
Yeah.
it.
It's not
the
easy
right
to
way
do.
to
It is the right way to
when
do
I
it.
do stuff at home, like it gets soggy easily. Like
yeah.
I think there's definitely a craft to
There
like
is a crap.
making sure that it, the ingredients go on the right way,
right
that everything's
order.
prepared the right way. Exactly. So it's not, too moist.
That's why you go out to eat.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Here.
true.
Yeah.
At Stolen Son.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just in general, like that's
Yeah.
why you really should be going out to eat because it offers something you can't do at home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep,
Yeah.
And you're helping out the community and helping out people that need it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Absolutely. But the nachos were fire as well. Like they're
Cool.
just awesome.
If you guys ever get Guy Fieri in here, he will say, I would put that pork on a flip flop and eat it. You could put that pork. My wife always gets the pork sandwich when we're here. The pork is just
Cool.
Always amazing.
It's a long process, but we take pride in it.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
What's so long about it? Obviously you're talking 12 plus hours on the smoker, maybe.
Oh yeah.
But what else goes in? Like when I do anything pork or poultry, I do I don't know what exactly you call it in the culinary world. I call it a brine, but I'm making like a saltwater apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah. A lot
bath.
of people brine
And just let that stuff sit in there.
everything.
And try
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just did our special this week is it's like a Thanksgiving smoked turkey bowl. We brine the turkey in there, like exact same way, smoked it. I mean, this turkey is not like nothing like you ever had before, man. It's just like super tender, like smoke ring. Like
we had it today. It was
rubbed.
fantastic.
It's just like, oh my god.
And it's like
man.
juicy.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
juicy.
dry.
I
No,
swear, at a good
not at
barbecue
all.
place, I swear, like you can get your brisket and your pulled pork, which it takes a lot to get that executed properly.
Yeah.
But I feel like places that really stand out to me also have incredible poultry, like good chicken, and good turkey smoked like that,
Those
like
are
a smoked
probably
breast.
the hardest things to cook.
I
Right?
know, right?
Yeah.
Because like they always get dried out, and
absolutely.
it's like the least
Turkey
exciting.
especially,
But when somebody does it right, it might outclass everything else.
Yeah.
So
we've been getting a lot of hit on our chicken because we started smoking our pulled chicken. We have like a mojo chicken sandwich.
yeah,
Smoking that, we brine it. We have a mojo marinade. Like it's really really good. It's got a lot of flavor.
mojo, you're talking like tequila. Is it tequila or is it rum?
No,
it's like
or-
orange juice.
it's citric.
cumin,
a lot of citric.
garlic.
I'm thinking like mojito.
Yeah, you're thinking mojitos.
Okay.
I'm thinking
which,
mint,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
we could
mint,
get one
mint
later.
rum.
Okay.
Do we do that still? I don't know
What's
if that's part of the new drink menu.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Maybe a mojito sour coming up. from
yeah,
the,
that's a summertime.
Give
thing,
you that.
you know?
Summertime.
Yeah.
Good research.
No,
that
yeah,
for
but our
anyone.
chicken's elevated. I mean, people are loving it. It's like you said, juicy. Like, and poultry is hard to cook. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You overcook it, it's just rubber, dry,
Yeah.
gross.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for that. So talk about the new menu because I've seen some really exciting stuff. I love pork wings.
Yeah, we
I don't even know what that is, like
Dude,
what part of
it's
it
a
is,
shank,
but
man.
Don't have
fucking
wings.
it's a
awesome.
pork shank. It's they call them pork wings because they have like a bone
Yep.
sticking out, like chicken
And we
wings.
cook them like wings. We
Yeah,
kind of
we
treat
cook
them
them
like wings.
Yeah, we
Yep.
definitely do. We smoke them, we sous them, we smoke them, and then we fry them. So they're
Shit,
like triple
yeah.
cooked.
Yeah.
They're tender, juicy,
Super tender. Yeah.
crispy on the outside. You can put any wing sauce you want on it. Like they sell like crazy. We offer them like once a month.
Yep.
It's like a once a month
Yeah.
thing, and people they're like, when are the pig wings coming back? We're like, yeah, a couple weeks. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll be here. Like, so
Yeah.
like it's a big we push it on social media and stuff like that. So
So you guys just dropped the special menu. What was it, yesterday or today?
yeah, like we roll into it on Thursdays. Sometimes we have it ready earlier.
I thought I saw a new menu to
Yeah.
drop
Yep.
today.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Talk about that. What's on the
Yeah.
menu for
So
the next?
this three bean chili.
This stuff, right?
that's what this is
Stuff
right
you
here.
guys are
Yeah.
eating, man.
Oh,
like
it's awesome. It's so good.
cornbread, super tender cornbread with
Yeah.
like 3 beans pinto, kidney, and black beans. Like I said, we're smoking the ground beef and the chorizo in it. A lot of flavor, cooked with beer, obviously. It's flavorful. I mean,
Oh, it's so good.
and it's not super spicy, but like we have like 6 different hot sauce here. Like
Yeah.
if you're a spicy chili guy, we got it. Like just put it in there and
Yep.
do what you want to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
appreciate that because like I
it's a-
like spice, but I don't
Yeah.
always maybe like everybody likes it at different
Yeah.
levels,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So it's like
Yeah. So I like
Do
the
what you
balance
want
because
with
I
it,
want to
man.
get that. I want to be able to tell that there's that sweetness in there still. I want to get that balance. I don't want to
Yeah.
overboard it right away. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that we can kind of add it
it's
in.
a
as we
chili
want and-
everybody can eat. Like there's
Yeah.
jalapeno in it, but it's seeded.
Yep.
So like you get the flavor from the jalapeno.
And it's all rendered down.
Yeah,
It's not like
rendered
raw
down. Yeah.
jalapeno.
Exactly.
I bet you I could put a little buffalo sauce in that chili.
There you
It
go,
might-
man. It would
might
probably
hit.
elevate it a little bit. So then we got a Thanksgiving turkey bowl, smoked turkey bowl. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
like we are brining it, we're smoking it. We made a goat cheese mash to go with it, our own homemade stuffing, homemade turkey gravy from the drippings from the turkey.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, man. And then we're finishing it with a cranberry orange zest bourbon relish. So it's like real cranberry sauce, not your jellied cranberry, which everybody likes. I'm even a sucker for it.
I love it. It's my favorite actually thing about Thanksgiving is the can of like solid
and it still
jelly.
And it still looks like the can.
It
still looks like
awesome.
the can, dude.
We have to do both.
Yeah.
We have the can. You can still see the rings
Yeah.
from the can, but my wife also makes the fresh,
The real stuff.
the real stuff. So
Which
we
is
have to
like,
have
you
both.
know, like I
and
get
people
it.
usually eat the can first.
Yeah, they'll
right?
eat the can first, obviously. But like, I mean, as a chef, you're like, don't eat the cans.
Come on.
But at the same time, I'm like at my family's house. I'm like, give me the cans.
Yeah.
Give me a little
You know what I mean? Because it reminds me of like childhood and stuff. You know. So
What about the burger?
oh, the burger, the autumn burger, steak burger, ancho chili, seasoned. We're using like a double creamed brie cheese, arugula, which just like screams fall.
Yeah.
Slices of green apple, and I made
Nice.
thinly sliced, and then I made a butternut squash aioli on it. So
Holy
like
cow.
the aioli just sets it off. It's a different level for it. It's amazing, dude.
Dylan had it today, and he was like, "This is the best burger I've ever eaten."
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, when you cook at home and you like cooking at home because you're like, oh, I can do it better. He was like, I think this is better than you can.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
I've
won.
ever.
I know. It's
I won one.
Really? Thanks.
I don't think I've ever had a butternut squash aioli.
I don't
It's
know. either.
acorn.
Acorn squash.
Acorn squash.
Okay.
Same difference.
I don't think I've had one of those either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I have had one of
Oh
those.
yeah. Oh, but, yeah.
Oh, acorn.
But that's a great idea.
Yeah, that sounds. I'm over here drooling.
Came to me in a dream, man. I dream about a lot of my food. I'm not
Yeah?
kidding. I have like food dreams. It's weird.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I usually can't remember my dream, so it's like a thing.
That's the
like,
thing, right?
It's a
Yeah.
thing, man. I'll wake up and be like, "Oh, I gotta do this."
And the conversation's always good because Billy's like, oh, I thought of this. And I'm looking at him like, we're just coming out of the time
Yeah.
where it was hard to like keep
Yeah,
wings on the menu
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
nachos
Yeah.
on the menu
Yeah.
when we weren't even elevating them like we do now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh,
John's-
if you're willing
John's
to do
the
it, I
greatest
love it. Like,
boss ever because he comes to me and he goes, "Dude, are you sure you want to get into this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I am." Like,
yeah. I
he's
still
like-
have PTSD.
He's like, "You just
Yeah,
keep,
right,
yeah."
yeah.
He's like, "You keep doing it to yourself." I'm like, "I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Like it's something I like. It's like a challenge for me, you know. Like I like having that challenge, and I want to elevate it. Like I want people to come here and realize the food's good and the beer's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
man. Like I love the beer here. It's so good.
Yeah.
And cooking with it's even more fun. You know,
Man, that's what a great attitude to have, man. Just
Yeah,
like
man.
whatever it takes to get it done, do it the way you want to do it,
Got it, man.
and
that's what I was
see what
telling you
happens,
about
man.
earlier about like getting the right people who understand like
The vision,
the
the
quality
passion,
vision
yeah.
that we have here, and like
Yeah.
how does this work?
I see the
Like,
vision.
It's the hardest part about running this business is like, what would John do?
Yeah.
Like that's like, it's like creating a quality product that our customers want, demand, and like just doing what we want to do. Like we don't do things just for the sake of doing them. We're literally like everything's very prescribed, and if it doesn't make any sense, we just go like, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we are like, this is what we do. And like I hate like during that time in COVID where we were all kind of helpless, I hated that.
Yeah.
It was a terrible time.
Because it was like going through the
you,
motion.
You couldn't
yes.
really like we were like, okay, well, what can we do with food?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, let's
Yeah.
like do hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like it was like ridiculous. And like to be able to see like, all right, we're starting to get great people in here. You know, I got Billy, you know, Pat's been in here for over 6 months now. Chris has been in here for over 2 years. We have employees that are like working in front of house that have been here for over a couple of years, and they're kind of starting to take lead roles here. And it's really about developing the culture and like I want to build the business.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of running the business
Day to day.
I want to be able to build the business and not worry and let these folks like do what they do best.
Yeah.
That's what my goal is.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. A lot of owners don't have the ability to let things go and to find the right people to do those day-to-day
Well, you
tasks
get-
so that you can focus on, building the brand and getting to the next step and things like
Yeah,
that.
man.
And they got to do the the everyday kind of things, but do it with the same passion.
You get into the business because in a craft business because you genuinely love that product.
Yeah.
So it's hard to actually release that until like the decisions being made are decisions that you would be making.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they're better decisions than you would be making.
And
and ultimately, that's what we do in here.
I agree, with him. He's a hands-on owner, which is awesome. And hands-on owners care. They care about their product. Yep. They absolutely they're there. They're talking with you. This is what we should do. What do you think we should do? You actually get a person to talk to that actually cares, and it's awesome. It's actually the best experience I've had in the culinary industry and just job wise, having a person that actually cares about what they do.
Yeah.
But there's the flip side. Cares. I do come and I'm I really care. That's
John cares. He cares a lot. And
if something's not right, I don't wait to fix it. It's this needs, and that can either be a good thing or a bad thing.
And he comes about it in a respectful way. Hey dude, let's talk about it. What do you think we should do? Maybe we should change this up, which is awesome because none of us are perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of us sitting at this table are perfect. We all
can always be better.
Yes.
You just got to keep finding ways, new ways to find it.
There's people that can push you to do better.
Sure.
And that's awesome that John's there. He has a great sense of palate. I'll tell you this. John was he's given me ideas on specials. He has, because everybody has a creative block.
Yeah, it just bounce things off.
Dude, there's weeks I'm something going on at home, or I'm just tired or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm here's my specials, and he's why don't we do this? And I'm that's actually a really good idea.
No, it's always nice to get a fresh take
it's
sometimes.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And then some weeks I'm just dude, I got it. And he's and he lets me get you know what I mean? And it's when I first started here, he was very hey, this is how I want it. And I was dude, totally. And then he backed off and kind of let me do what I do.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That's great.
As, a chef, having that creative, exposure to do hey, I can do whatever I want now, and just kind of
well, and the other thing too is Billy can actually have a conversation. A lot of chefs are very adamant about what they do and how they do it. And if I was to ever be hey, what if we tried this? It would be
get the fuck out of here.
World War III, man.
We're able to work together, which is
the
most important thing.
I'm a very modest person. Yeah. I don't even like being called chef. Just being respected is kind of how I roll. I'm easygoing guy.
Yeah, he doesn't throw knives.
Yeah.
He never comes at me with
a pizza pan once.
Okay. Not at me though.
But not here. It was a different place, different time, different era.
Let's talk about the weekend stuff. I don't think we said that on air.
No, I was going to ask that. You guys are opening up, doing a little bit more breakfast hour type stuff.
That's a big thing, man. And we started with a very small menu, just kind of with we said, with staffing and stuff like that, just trying to ease into it. But it went very well. Doing Saturdays, Sundays brunch, opening at 10 o'clock in the morning. Trying to sell coffee. I mean, coffee here is amazing. Infusing it with the brunch. We're just trying to kind of push the coffee as well, because it's just as good as the beer. You know what I mean? So we started
better.
Yeah, I don't know. You got your hands on it more. That's why.
Do you sell ground or just beans?
Either or.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can grind it here. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, we started that off, and now we're just gonna add an item here, item there, delete, add, till we come up with a stellar brunch menu that's just gonna wow people.
But we're kind of building that back up, because if you remember, we used to be open for breakfast, and then we haven't been open for a year and 8 months or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Staffing.
So I mean, so it's it's one of those things where it's we just have to be all in it. We're gonna try to. It's not gonna be pretty to begin with, but we're just gonna. This is what our business is. We're gonna get back up, keep it going.
Yeah. Okay.
But breakfast is part of our DNA. Coffee's a big piece of it. And I love breakfast, Bill. I mean, we love breakfast. It's a great meal.
I don't eat breakfast that often, but it might be the best food.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. When it's good.
you're gonna, yeah,
American breakfast.
yeah,
'cause
it can
it's
be
greasy
so much
and,
fun.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like meats and like.
You
Yeah.
don't want the British breakfast with the beans?
Nah,
No
man.
blood
You
sausage.
could-
no.
I mean, blood sausage ain't
Blood
bad,
yeah.
but like you could pass on that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do it with smoked meat. We're gonna incorporate beer, coffee, especially into it, and we're just gonna keep going with it and just keep being creative. And like we said, we're Scratch Kitchen. It's not set. Nothing's set. Like we're just like, okay, this and that and this and that. Let's try it. And truthfully, we let our customers kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, they like it, we'll give it to them.
We do
Like,
it.
that's it, dude. Like, it's it.
I might do a pulled pork, egg, and cheese like on a bagel.
Yeah.
What about on like pancakes with like some quackadon syrup?
Quackadon syrup is
Yeah.
definitely
Some mop sauce on there.
definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Dylan made and you wouldn't think that it would be good, but it was a bagel with cream cheese, pork, and mop sauce.
That's cool.
And it was like
All right, I'm not mad at it.
I'm trying to get him
really
like he's
weirdly
creative.
delicious.
He's creative. I'm trying to get him out
mean,
of the,
the
music game
creaminess,
and
like-
get him into a chef game. But
Yeah, you
I
let
mean,
it. You let him in the music.
yeah,
game
I'll
there,
let him
buddy.
go. He's pretty good.
Reminds me of like buffalo chicken dip, right? It's like buffalo sauce
don't
and
even
cream
get started.
cheese and
Billy,
chicken, right?
Billy made some buffalo chicken dip like 2 weeks ago.
Smoked-
Insane.
Yeah.
smoked
Buffalo
buffalo chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, put it on the menu." I'm like, "Oh,
I believe it, but
It was
no,
insane.
but I've done like a barbecue version of it with pork, and that kind of reminds me of that.
that
you know,
sounds cool."
yeah,
That
just
sounds
really
really
like
cool.
a cream cheesy barbecue sauce with the pork. It's a thing.
Yeah.
You guys can get there.
Yep.
So
Possibly. That's a good idea.
let's get back to the beers quick. I already finished the Uncle John's
Yeah.
22.
There's some in
Mr.
front of me
Steve's
here.
just racing through them.
And then
I'm
what about
plowing
the
So
what's
number-
the difference between 22 and Ghost?
All right, so 22 is like El Dorado Nugget and Idaho 7.
Okay.
And that's so Uncle John's base is always the same, brew's always the same, and then it's kind of our jam beer. The dry hops is what distinguishes the batches from the batches.
Sure. Okay.
So Ghost, same beer, but the dry hops are Galaxy, Mosaic, and Citrus. So very much like modern East Coast mixed with traditional West Coast.
Yep.
Except it's clear too, which is nice.
Yeah, no, because it is. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is like this is so much like a West Coast beer, but there's something that just
the
makes
dankness,
it.
I mean,
that brings it back a little
the
bit.
Galaxy and it's just spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's much different when you put some crystal malts behind that Galaxy also that sweeten it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Shit.
Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, that beer this year was awesome. And it's always great to have two West Coast on at the same time.
Yeah, have them back to back.
Yeah.
Which is the HHS
Hop-Headed Stranger.
Hop-Headed Stranger.
This
That's
is the one I've been
that
so excited for
Pat was
just because of
talking about.
the label.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, such a great beer. And I hate to even say, I think it's like Cascade, Mosaic, and Citra, possibly. It's in Untapped. This is how I remember everything. What happens
Thank
here.
goodness Untapped is there for
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's awesome. Because it's juicy, but still got plenty of hop.
Mosaic, Citra,
Yeah.
Simcoe, and Cascade. Is all
Yeah,
it is. And
it's
a double
super,
dry
super
hop,
juicy.
Yep.
but yet so like citrusy
Yes.
Yeah.
and melony and just
I like that there's still a little bit of bitterness at the back end.
It
It's
is,
not a
yeah.
total juice bomb.
Yeah.
It's got that bitterness
well, I
that kind of
think you
rounds it
always
out.
kind of need.
You
I don't
need
know.
a
Whenever
little
I have
bit.
that beer that just is like,
I don't
not
want
too
just
juicy.
orange
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, orange juice.
I want to
Oh,
know
hate
I'm
those.
drinking beer.
I don't want just orange juice.
Ah,
John's cracking cans.
It's
Yeah.
cracking.
and this is the other DDH we have on right now, Jay-Z's Hazy, which is almost done.
I'm not, luck is sometimes created, but the fact that you can get Jay-Z and Hazy
It just works.
it
for
just
everything.
flows straight. It just flows so easily.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have those initials.
You are. But like I said, luck is made sometimes.
Can you grab another one of those cans?
Idaho 7, John's Jam. I don't know what it is, man. If it's a straight Idaho 7 beer, I can't do it. Or heavy Idaho 7. There's something about it that just
We've discussed this. Everybody has their hop that they don't like. John's is Idaho 7.
Too dank. like Idaho 7 tastes like dirty tropical fruits, like dank,
Dirty
tropical
something.
fruits. I love it. I do. It's got like that. So like if you,
I'm assuming it is. So like I've had I don't like what is it? Cloudy and Cumbersome. Levante, right? I don't like that beer. It's their best-selling beer. And for whatever reason, that beer in particular, I just can't get down with it. And it's got a funny taste. And somebody said, well, maybe it's Idaho 7. And then I had an Idaho 7 single hop beer somewhere and didn't like that at all either. And I'm like, well, maybe there is something to that. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just don't like that.
I'm asking you.
I
You're
don't
supposed to
know
know.
what you like.
You're supposed to know.
Yeah. Everybody has different taste buds.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes.
Mine is Sriracha or Sriracha.
I don't
Ace,
know what that hop really. I
Sriracha
think I've only had
Ace.
one beer with that hop in it.
The Brooklyn.
Yes,
That's the only hop in there. And
but maybe it's just the beer is not good.
see, I think it's the hop.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll say it's the hop.
Yeah, we'll say it's the hop.
John, you're supposed to know.
Although I will say that Brooklyn made probably the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
Uh-oh.
You know what?
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
The hop no.
Yeah,
Quinceratops.
Quinceratops? Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like some kind of Belgian quad, but
Yeah.
quint. The exact quote was, "It tasted like an electrical fire."
Wow. Like a rubbery, burnt rubber.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was.
it was-
So it's probably some kind of contamination issue.
I don't know.
Did
Something.
it taste like
It tasted
like
like
it
burning.
might have been plugged
no,
into a wall.
It tastes like Band-Aids. That's the term you want.
I don't know if Band-Aid was
Band-Aids are
quite
kind
it.
of like burnt. Yeah.
It might have been.
You ever lick Band-Aids as a kid?
Not recently.
As a kid.
Oh, probably.
Only lead.
Yeah, yeah, I mean that's kind of what that it sounds like that flavor is, like a phenolic flavor. And if it was a Belgian beer,
Ooh.
technically probably could have some phenolic notes to it.
Yeah.
Or
And my-
it could have just been an
Brooklyn.
old bad beer.
My
or
wife was
something.
trying to be a good wife, and she bought me this beer, and she's like, "Oh, I love the label. It had this like
Oh yeah.
dinosaur
It
on
was
the cover."
It was a cool label.
and well,
Yeah.
and she does know that I like Belgian beers. She's like, "It's Belgian."
Yeah.
I was like, "Great, I'll bring it to this beer share." She's like, "How'd everybody like your beer?" And I was like,
No, it didn't go over too well.
your heart was right in the right place, honey, but
Thanks. I
that beer
appreciate it.
didn't have it.
Well, that's where having the cool label and not having great liquid.
Yeah,
Get you in
can
trouble.
you.
Yeah.
Especially when it was a $35 bottle.
Yeah, that's not great.
You want to do a toast?
Jay-Z Hazy.
We
What
got,
about Jay-Z
we got
Hazy?
some Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z Hazy. Let's,
Jay-Z Hazy's amazing as always.
Super solid. I mean, beer just gets better and better every single
Yeah.
time.
I love that beer. I could have it in the fridge all the time.
And you can taste like this beer is like much fuzzier than Hop-Headed Stranger.
Yeah.
Like flavor wise, it just has that creaminess to it that
Yep.
from all the
The oats? What is it?
yep.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot softer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But man, I like that. I mean, I love Jay-Z's Hazy. That Hop-Headed Stranger, man.
It's good.
That
Awesome.
bite on it, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
has a
good
bite.
blend of like that
Yeah.
East
And
Coast,
it's
West
like
Coast.
insanely hoppy.
Yeah.
Insanely hoppy.
it's so good.
And clean and aggressive. That's,
All of the beers have been awesome. Nothing's been like, oh, it's not right or off or nothing.
we have
like,
some coming out.
it's
that are
crazy.
not
Yeah,
great.
that's on
Are
the,
they?
Yeah, the next round is
That's
really
the
bad
after
beer.
hours.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
the after hours
Where-
paddle.
where- you're
You're not
hiding all the bad
supposed to say
beers.
that.
Wait till you get the next flight.
And the next food round is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit food, shit beer.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible.
Cheetos and Doritos.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
All right, so you guys know, we're gonna do our next segment, Toast of the Week. So if you guys can think of anything, it can be a positive toast or negative toast, but we usually just cheer something that
A
maybe
person,
happened, a person or a thing
an
that happened in the
event,
last week.
Veterans Day. How about this?
Wait,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got music here for this
Here we
thing.
go.
My bad,
Check
man.
it out.
Oh,
Might Be Brews presents the Toast of the Week.
And that's an excellent one. So why don't you go ahead and start us off
well, it's Veterans Day for the next 2 hours,
for next another couple of minutes.
but it should be every day, because they risk their life to keep us safe. So cheers.
That's a
For
great
sure.
sentiment.
Cheers.
Happy
That's
Veterans
awesome.
Day.
Happy
Thank
Veterans
you
Day.
for all the veterans out there.
That was gonna be mine. Shout out to all the
Sorry,
veterans.
man.
That's what. No, it's okay, man. That's a
Stole
great
your
one.
thunder.
Not at all. that's one of those things that like I kind of always wish I did, and I always super respect anybody
Same, man.
that did it, that was in the service, because it's like, man, just like everything that they did, you know, to help us out with what we do every day. It's a big thing. So, you know, I just respect everybody out there that's ever put a uniform on. So shout out to you guys.
Cheers.
Do you want me to go next so you can think of a new one since
Go
you
ahead.
stole your
I'll
since
think
you
of
stole your
something
thing? So mine is going to found footage.
What does that mean?
So found footage
Is that a company or just
no,
Pe-
it's footage that was found. And
Okay.
where this is going is in a couple weeks, Disney Plus is going to put out a special on the Beatles. I don't know if you guys are Beatles guys. I know you're a Grateful Dead guy.
What? I love
Did you see this preview for this new special?
like the
I did
insects?
not.
No,
I'm just kidding.
like the band. So evidently, someone recorded the Beatles making their last album, the last official album, Let It Be.
Let it be. Yeah.
And there's literal footage of these four guys sitting around working through the songs, and they somehow worked it into HD. Like it looks like
Wow.
it looked when I first saw it, I thought it was like a mockumentary.
Yeah, like a movie.
Like they had actors and I'm like, no, that's fucking Paul. Like
Yeah.
and I was amazed. So it's directed by Peter Jackson, who's the guy that did the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
wow.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
like
yeah. Peter Jackson.
super big director. But it's I think they're doing it over 3 nights on Disney Plus. And the first 2 nights are kind of the making of the album. And then their last concert was a rooftop show in London, which the cops got called. It was a whole
Yeah, I remember.
It was a whole
that,
thing.
I saw
Dylan
footage.
wants to do one of those. by the
No,
way.
we can do it right,
That's
right
his
here.
dream. I know.
Right here.
Yeah, he keeps talking about it.
So
I
I'm
keep saying no.
I never grew up a Beatles guy, and then I met a guy when I was teaching some percussion stuff that I used to do who said, "You're either a Beatles guy or you're not a Beatles guy yet." and I was like,
that makes sense.
but when I started, I was like, "Fuck, how did I miss out on this?" And now I'm just all Beatles out.
You're all in.
My
That's
plan
cool.
is John and I are driving to Delaware tomorrow, and then we can listen to the Beatles the whole way. We're just putting it on
so did
Pandora.
you just learn about the Beatles recently?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
let's
I've been into the Beatles for probably a good 10, 15 years, but when I was younger, I wish I listened to them
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You know, I always knew they were there and I was respecting them, but I never
Oh, they're awesome.
dove in.
My mom got me started. She had like vinyls and stuff, and I'm like, "What's this?" She's like, "The best band ever." She had a
Ever.
picture of the Beatles, like a picture she took of the Beatles in a press conference,
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
and I was like,
insane.
I think she still has it. And I was like, "That's so cool!" Like,
That's amazing.
yeah,
But these guys kicked out 20 number 1 hits.
Yeah.
Not 20 top 10s, not 20 number 1 hits.
and
can you
they
imagine?
did it when there was no social media, no
Nothing.
no like Apple Music, no nothing like that. You
That
had,
it actually makes it harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh, wait,
does in
wait.
a way
Wait, like having it like social media
Yes.
or stuff?
because
Well, there's so many people
everyone
doing it.
has
Yeah, everybody's
this-
doing it.
Anybody that's got a
That-
laptop
Yeah.
you can
and an acoustic
I mean,
guitar
you gotta
can
like weigh it though. Like
It-
it's like there was like you. It's hard to like find somebody that's
Yeah.
really good, but then in nowadays it's like everybody's doing it, so it's kind of still hard to find somebody that's actually really good because there's so much out there. So many people trying to be
It's
musicians. Yeah.
yeah.
So my only thing with the special, I don't understand how they sat on footage from 40 years ago, 40 some years ago,
and just
of the biggest band
I
in
think
the
it may have been
history
part
of the
Michael
world.
Jackson.
I was
estate.
It
just
might have
gonna
been.
say that. Michael
It might have
Jackson
been.
had them like
He had the
all,
rights.
He had all the rights, dude.
I think Paul
was-
bought it back from Michael.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think so.
Maybe after
I don't
he
know.
passed away.
And Paul was the one that literally gave Michael that idea when they were making Say 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 in the 80s off the Thriller album. It's like, oh, you really got to own your own recordings.
Yeah, and everyone
Michael
else
was like, oh, that's a great idea.
And everybody else.
So
cheers to the Beatles.
cheers to the Beatles and
Yeah.
found footage.
So is that what's the best
Disney Plus.
What's the greatest Beatles album ever?
Greatest Beatles
I like
album.
Sergeant Pepper's.
That is a good one.
I like it a lot. I actually was listening to the other day.
I love it too. I'll go the White Album just in a.
You know what?
The White Album's
it's-
also. I just
it's-
gave the White Album to my daughter who's 12, just got her a turntable, and I'm like, it's the original like White Album. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
And it was a hard to part with it.
Yeah.
But like, I want
let
her,
go, Dad. Let go.
Yes, exactly.
I can't.
Dude. I just want her to like experience real good music, because there's still good music today. It's just not as plentiful.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
So I have a 13-year-old, and she's in Nirvana stage right now.
Cool.
That's her.
Cool. My
she's
daughter
discovering the
dresses like she's
grunge,
in
the Nirvana.
Yeah.
She's going that too. She
Okay.
loves the Holy Jeans. That's
Yeah,
her,
my
her
daughter
big
does the
thing.
same thing.
So I think after she gets through her 90s grunge thing, I'm going to push the Beatles, the 70s, the Led Zeppelins.
Do it now, because they think that stuff's cool.
Yeah.
Like, she's probably in the retro. Like, she's like, everything like nowadays is like, she dresses like Billie Eilish, but doesn't like Billie Eilish. And I'm like, good, because she's terrible. She's just like copying everybody else from the 90s and thinks she's like doing something new. And I'm like, yeah, you're terrible. But like, yeah, she's like super grungy and like, listen, like, she's like, Dad, what else you got? And I'm like, here, take more of Jimi Hendrix. Here you go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's into it. It's cool.
John, you got anything you want to give a little toast to?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say. Apparently, there's a ton of music by Prince in the vault. That product has not been unleashed yet, according to Fish.
Cool.
I worry about that, because if Prince didn't put it out,
It probably was.
there was a reason he didn't
Yeah.
put it out. And I am a huge Prince guy.
You're
that
probably
kind of
right.
stuff worries me.
I can imagine that. Like,
Sorry about that, John.
Might have been the top 3 concert I've ever seen as Prince.
Where'd you
I
see
can
him?
believe it.
That's Spectrum.
It's Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's on the Musicology
Who
tour.
were the other two?
I loved Eric Clapton.
Wow.
I saw him twice. He did a blues show, just all blues stuff, and then he did a show where it was like a greatest hit show, like Tears in Heaven, the Cream stuff.
Cool.
That was a great show. It's got to be somewhere in between those two. I could change on which day you ask me which one I like the best.
Next to the Beatles.
I never saw the Beatles. I would have been 3.
Yeah. Right.
0.
It's been 0.5.
You got a toast for
Oh,
us,
yeah,
John? You
sure.
got anybody you like
know
to?
what? Like, honestly, being able to sit down here with awesome employees today, like, it's great. It's great to actually have the time to do this. I thank you guys and thank these guys. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like, where we've been and what we're doing, like, I'm super thankful for all that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having us out. And,
Thank you for the beer, the food.
Yeah, it's always a blast, man. I feel like you're one of like our top supporters, man. You're just always like reaching out and trying to help and always willing to do stuff with us and hop on the show.
Yeah,
So,
we've had some crazy experiences.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I
It's a
didn't
lot of
even
fun.
bring up the Night by the Fire.
It
I
was
didn't
insane.
even bring it up.
I hope that's been burned and like no one could ever watch that.
That was when Tiger King was popular.
It was
'Cause I remember
insane.
somebody.
You had a
Tiger
tiger.
thing? That was
Did
deep
you have
in-
a tiger?
That was deep.
It was
into
deep
the
in
COVID.
Tiger. Yeah, it
Like,
Yeah.
was crazy.
COVID, everything.
I was
Somebody
by the
photoshopped
fire.
you
Yes,
as Tiger.
everything.
Yeah. Photoshopped you as Tiger King.
Because I think I
and-
was saying like, yeah, I started raising tigers back here. Like, I was like lit up as can be that night.
Side
Oh my
job.
It
goodness.
was hysterical.
John's
Yeah,
side
I was
job.
just like, I was trapped.
whatever we can do to get through this.
Because we had
raising
like
tigers.
crazy, like there was literally at that time there was me, our GM, Dylan was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My,
Holy
you know,
shit.
me and my wife, like we were like lugging, like we were running for hours, and then we did that podcast, and like
Yeah.
literally, it was an insane night.
Oh,
Like just
yeah.
like many of the Fridays and Saturday nights were of just like
COVID.
takeout insanity happening, where people
It
just
was-
had to
it
get
was
out of their
insane,
houses.
Yeah.
Fish says he's waiting for season 2 of Tiger King.
Oh,
It's coming.
It's happening.
I saw there's a trailer.
Carol Baskin was suing because she
Yeah.
didn't
saw
agree to
that.
be a part of 2 of them.
They
just
they
one.
denied it.
Wow.
Denied
Did they?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Denied it. It's coming out.
She killed that guy.
Yeah, she
killed
totally
that
Totally.
husband and fed him to the tigers.
On the low, she killed him.
how
Oh,
crazy
on
is that
the-
though? Because like you can totally do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All you do is like, what do they do to the Tiger King guy? And then they like put something on his shoe, like a scent of something.
Oh yeah, it's
And then-
some
Yeah. Like that's
it's
what
like
she
if
did.
you own
She
a
just-
aquarium. Like
like
I don't know what happened to that
What
employee.
was the
Hit the-
movie?
yeah.
Like they fed the guys and the pigs because they like even eat the bones. It was like was it
Snatch.
was
Or-
it Snatch?
or it was one of those movies.
I think it
or,
was
it
Snatch.
Lock, Stock, Smoking
One
Barrel?
of those. They're
one
all the same to me.
prequel to that. It was
Smoking
all-
Aces. I don't know. That's all the
Yeah,
same
something
movie
like
to me.
that. Like, there was a guy with like thick brimmed glasses, and he's like,
What's that
thick-brimmed
director's
glasses.
name? Guy something.
And he's,
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie, yeah.
and he's like, yeah, feed them to the pigs, and like nobody knows what happened to him. afterwards.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
wild.
it's
It's wild.
crazy.
So, guys, if you're in the Exton area, stop out and see John.
Yeah.
Even if you're not,
The boys here at
drive
Stolen
to
Sun.
Exton. Exton's the easiest place to get to
It really is.
from anywhere. Come down 100. Come down
It is
113.
super easy.
Come down 202. Come down 76. You'll be here
We got guys.
before you know it.
What's up? How are you?
So yeah, come to Exton, come to Stolen Sun, and oh my god, like so the beer is incredible, obviously, but this
Yes.
food is on another level. Like these wings, I just keep looking at and thinking about
Calm down. The beer's better than the food, man.
the beer.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Man.
Uh,
Yes, it is.
Here's the thing.
but it's an
better.
experience.
When you come and you get the Stolen Sun experience, that's kind of what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said.
Giving you the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like,
you ready to roll on out of here,
Yeah,
John?
let's do it.
So, our next show, we're going to record at Thompson Island
Thompson
in
Island
Delaware.
in Delaware. We're going to be Rehoboth recording. We might go live tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Depends on logistics and things like that. But if you took a few minutes to hang out with us online, watching, listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, we really appreciate you. Do us a favor, share this with your friends, give us a like, rate us on iTunes, any of that stuff. But we really appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you, John, again for having us. We really appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.
The following is a Just Green